Hey, how you doing? This is SEIJIHITO here to bring you another live stream. I really didn't want to do this live stream. I didn't feel like that we should, in a sense, really be focused on anything of the sense. There's a lot more serious topics and issues that should be focused on. But here we are. Probably going to end up losing a lot of subscribers directly on this, but it be like that, right? So what inevitably ended up happening is that this has to deal with Kayla Nicole. If you don't know who Kayla Nicole is, it is the woman that you see directly in front of you here, right? She was the one that was with Travis Kelce, right? And we saw the whole fiasco, how she was with him, and Travis Kelce basically gave her, what was it, about like 3 to 4K a month or something like that, and she was still trying to say that she needs more money, which makes no sense. You should be working, right? He should not be giving you $3,000 out of his NFL contract paycheck in order to facilitate whatever it is that you in a sense need. You should be a woman. You're not his wife. You're not his fiance. You should be out there working, right? And then she also went on to a podcast and stated to who was it? Angel Reese, I think it was. She stated somewhere in the sense of, do I look like a 50-50 type of woman? And I was like, oh, you just sealed the deal right there. And then some months later, whatever it was, we saw Travis Kelce directly out there with Taylor Swift. And that was it. Now they're engaged. And she is still single. Right. So, yo, what's up, Prince? What is up, Devin? What is up? What is up? What is up? Um, and what'd you say? You said just watch the white couple video, and I thought everything in that video was completely staged. Okay, so let me just segue real quick, right? So the video that you are referring to, right? The interesting thing about, and I wanted to post an update. I might do that on the community page, but I'm not sure. The couple that I posted directly about, they wanted to state that, oh, this, magical black dude on the street, he threatened our lives. First, the story was like he threatened, the baby, right, who was white. And then when they moved into like this garage, a whole nother scene, it was like, oh, he threatened, my wife and my child. He basically threatened my family because they were white and XYZ and all this other type of stuff. So the funniest thing is I went back today to try to figure out if there was an update on the situation. Kid you not, this that supposed pastor, he decided to private his TikTok page. And I'm like, that's a little bit suspicious because you're religious. Everything should be transparent. And you said that something like this happened to you. And like I said, it's a whole bunch of stuff directly with that doesn't make any type of sense. And now it's getting even worse, directly with that. So yeah, shout out to Devin for watching that video. Yo, what is up, Pink? What is up? What is up? What is up? Um, what was it? What do we got? What we got? Yo, Sham, what is going on? Sham says, Seji, how come the live not popping up on the other channel? Oh no, I'm just doing it from one. That's why. I'm just doing it directly from one channel. I mean, I can. I can do that from two. I mean, I guess that's. Are you trying to have double the work? I mean, I don't think it's going to be really that busy because of the title. Because usually, when I happen to make these titles, people tend to tune directly out. What was it? Gob said he probably privated because even though he was the victim, that community will destroy you for pointing it out. They can never be seen as the perpetrators, only the victims. Um, wait, hold on. Hold on. Let me just. You say he probably privated because even though he was okay. So going by what you innocent stated, this is how I was looking at the situation. Right. Normally, whenever an instance that people would say is racist, right, especially if it's white folks directly out there, everything is recorded. Right. White people are the main people throughout history that are very, very, very great at recording almost everything. Right. So it's a little bit surprising to me that when a moment of time of quote unquote racism, when a supposed black man is throwing threats directly at white lives at a white family, that everything or at least something isn't captured directly on film. That again, that's a little bit suspicious to me. White people can magically capture everything else on film. I watched a video recently where a guy was out there in the Amazon and they found a once in a lifetime type of video where an animal that they thought was extinct for about 50 to 100 years is still alive. So, like I said before, can record everything, but that one magical moment of racism, it seemingly didn't get recorded. It's a little bit confusing. A little bit confusing. You said it doesn't make sense that he went private. Of course it does. Snitches get stitches, right? That's the rules of thuggery. I mean, I don't know what thuggery is. You would have to, the funniest thing is you have to, I know you're older than me. You have to be like 50, 60 somewhere, in there somewhere with the white hooded gang, right? No problem, cool. The only time that I understood what thugs directly were the old school cartoons that I used to watch, like Bugs Bunny, right? They used to have Muggsy Malone and all this other type of stuff, and those were the thugs and the goons. Though they were white, right? So I'm a little bit confused on the thuggery that you're specifically talking about because I don't know what specifically that is. Just saying, I don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. You know. Um. Oh, Sham said, "No, it's all good. I was just making sure it wasn't YouTube." Oh no, I got you, I got you. Pink said, "Trying not to get frustrated. Two tires and waiting on the tow truck." Oh snap! I'm glad y'all good. I'm glad y'all good out there, Pink. Haley Witch said, "Is that Chris Brown?" Okay, so going back to the main topic, right, which had to do with Kayla Nicole, right? Who is this woman? If I can get it to show up, which is this woman here. What inevitably took place was that it was a concert that happened at it was at Chris Brown concert when he brings women directly on stage. Kayla Nicole came directly up on stage and they did the whole thing where he's like dancing up on her and all this other type of stuff, getting them private time and attention, right? So then immediately after, or sometime after, she ended up writing this directly on social media. So let me read this directly off to you, just in case you can't see it. It said, and this is from I am Kayla Nicole. So this is her IG. She said, "Well, that was fun. Had to really do it for the teenage me blasting Chris Brown in her bedroom, for the mini me who saw him at one of her first concerts, for the women who sometimes feel like she has to be a monolith instead of multi-layered. I did it for the smart girls, the cool girls, the sexy girls, the fun girls, for all of us who are all of those things at once." Now, note everything that she said, that was all cool and fine. This is when it became a problem, an issue. Last but not least, at the bottom, she said, "And I overly did it for my brown girls," right? And she put a brown heart directly up there. So the response that Chris Brown had said, which you can see on the right side of the screen, it said, "Miss me with the colorist rage baiting," right? Because for the longest time, Chris Brown has always been judged, and you've had black women out here that have stated that, "Oh, Chris Brown, he's a colorist. He doesn't like, black women, this, that, and the third, and all this other type of stuff." Right? They want to sit up there and say that, "Oh, he's colorist. Why aren't darker complected women in his videos? Why aren't there the love interest and whatnot or whatever and all this other type of stuff?" Right? So I want to just go back to something that people stated before, right? That normally when it deals with love, and I'm not saying that Chris Brown has a preference. I don't know the man. I don't know what he has, but just hear me out. Normally what people would say is that usually when it deals with love or finding a significant other, people are going to look for somebody who is a little bit of a reflection of their parents in some type of similar way, fashion, or form, right? It could be the nurturing, it could be the love, it could be the way that the person cooks, or the type of value that the person speaks into them, the type of respect that the person gives. It could be a variety of things, right? Or even the similarities as of how they look, right? Such as skin complexion. So now I want to go to exhibit A. This is Chris Brown and his mom. This is Chris. Let me repeat. This is Chris Brown and his mom, and this is going throughout all of the years. You can even see on the right side of the screen the second picture from the top. That is Chris Brown when he is a very young boy with his mom on the beach somewhere. roughly in every single photo, Chris Brown and his mom have the same exact skin complexion. Other than the times that obviously Chris Brown might have caught a tan somewhere, they have the exact same skin complexion. So if we're going to try to look at this, I'm looking at a young man who loves his mom, and he's looking for that reflection in some way, shape, or form in the women directly out there. So it's not like Chris Brown is just, oh, let me just sit up there and just start dating who not whoever. He's dating women who are reflective of the women that he loves. But even still with that, people are still trying to spread the narratives. Oh, Chris Brown, he doesn't love black women. He doesn't this, he doesn't. How? Because you don't specifically see your image directly up there, that means that he doesn't love black women. So then I go back to this right here where Kayla Nicole wanted to say she specifically did it for the brown girls. What does that even mean? Everybody was solely focused on the fact that, yo, Chris Brown is selling out concerts. He's having these meet and greets. He's going, all over the planet at this moment in time. Like, he's doing great, right? He is going to the celestial planes at this moment in time. Like, he is looking at the universe. But every single time Chris Brown does so well, does so great, he is just on a roll. Magically, I kid you not, continuously throughout the years, stuff like this happens. If people don't want to, if people want to keep bringing up the Rihanna thing, they'll do that. They'll bring up the supposed thing of like, oh, Chris Brown doesn't like darker complected women because of X, Y, and Z, his security guards, and this, that, and the third. But yet none of these women can specifically tell you an instance where Chris Brown himself came out directly and said that, oh, that woman is too dark, I don't want her here. They're always talking about somebody around the situation, never the direct person. And I'm like, that's a little bit interesting to me. And then you have other women that jump on these theories as if they are those women. And they're like, oh, I empathize and I sympathize. And I'm like, how? Because the craziest part to me, right, is that when it deals with this instance of Chris Brown and the concert and all this other type of stuff, the people that get the limelight and whatnot or whatever, the thing that I've noticed is that when darker complected women are the focal point of modeling, when they're the focal point of advertisement, when they're the focal point on a lot of these dating shows, when it deals with white men and many other men, I never hear the lighter complected or the brown skinned black woman out there saying like, oh no, I'm jealous, I'm envious, she shouldn't be up there. Why don't they want to represent all of us? Why what about the brown skin? What about the light skin? What? I never hear that. I see those black women saying like, yo, this is your time to shine. You deserve this. Like this is your light. You got this, right? I see all that love and support. But when it's the reverse, when it's dark complected women and they're looking at everybody else get some attention, I don't see that same love and support. I see a type of way to try to destroy, to try to just take it away because they're not specifically being fixated on and focused directly on. And I'm like, that's crazy to me. So you're willing to ruin what it is that is going on because you're not being highlighted. So everybody has to be unhappy, right? So let me just go into the videos to further prove the point.
A dark-skinned woman who's still going to see Chris Brown, support Chris Brown, and you get discriminated against in any kind of way because of your skin tone, do not get on here complaining. How many times are we gonna have to tell you hoes that that man do not like y'all? He don't like y'all. He don't prefer y'all. He don't want y'all there. He don't want y'all around. How many times are we gonna have to tell you that? So if you're gonna continue to take your ass to Ike Turner's concerts, understand we don't care if you get your ass on here complaining because you know how he is. That man been telling you how he is for years. He been showing you how he is. The only thing that man want from you is your money for that ticket, that $1,000 for that VIP pass, and for you to get the fuck out of his face. When are you gonna understand that? It don't matter how much you love him, how fine you think you are, how long you been a fan, or any of that shit. He does not want you around. So don't complain when you get treated badly around him because you knew better.
So I'm not even gonna. It's crazy how the camera just like froze there because that's just like a straight attitude face for no reason. All of this energy that she has is astonishing to me, and she made sure to show up as best as possible directly on camera to be the representation for the dark skinned women directly out there. Even though I would not even consider her dark, I would just consider her brown. But whatever. And she wanted to call this dude Ike Turner. That's not even we're like the craziest part. Like, I don't understand how people are still living in a time like the dude was like 18, 19. Both him and Rihanna were. I'm not even sure why we even still like rehashing this. Like, it's about like 15 plus years that we're going to be soon enough on 20 years that I'm still going to see women like this online talking about Chris Brown. And I'm like, what are we doing? It was mutual combat. And then on top of that, you got Rihanna that sat up there and forgave him. So I'm a little bit confused on how it is that you're still trying to hold on to something that the person who was actually there and that was a part of it is not holding on to. Rihanna is with ASAP Rocky. She got 2 to 3 kids now. She's a billionaire. How are you still fixated on something that had nothing to do with you? And you're still trying to carry that forward as if you're on some type of brother. This is I don't understand it. I don't get it. Like, a lot of these women that you see on social media that still talk about Chris Brown in a negative light, they're soon enough going to be in their 40s and 50s still talking the exact same way. Time and everything that moved around them, moved past them, but they're still stuck in a time period of which they cannot go back to. They're still trying to pigeonhole this man to something that happened years and years ago. Still want to keep him there. It doesn't matter what he's going through, how it is that he is transformed, the positive and great things that he's nope. None of that matters. We're going to take it right back to that point in time because that's where we're going to live in, because that's the only memory, that's the only version of Chris Brown that we only want to consider and recognize. We don't care what he's doing now. We don't care what type of man he is now. We only care about the man that he was in the past. And I'm like, it's a little bit weird and crazy how that fixation happens when it specifically deals with black men, because Chris Brown is a black man. But when it deals with men of other races, this exact same type of energy is never applied. This exact same type of wave of like, oh, we're going to sit up there and cancel this dude, and we're going to take money out of his pocket. We're going to make sure if I hate him, we're going to make sure everybody else feels this. I never see that same energy directly out there. And I'm like, it's a little bit weird to me, because I have videos of other guys out there specifically stating that they just don't like black women directly to black women's faces. And the same energy that you see here is not ever on display when it deals with those guys. It's almost treated as if each one of those guys are individuals. And it's not like a monolith type of thing. And they're not going to try to pigeonhole those guys, even if they come back into contact with those same guys. Like I said, it's just a little bit weird to me. It's just a little bit weird to me, but, let's continue.
So goddamn corny, bruh. Whatever Kayla Nicole and Chris Brown was trying to prove, it gave, I'm a white boy, here go my black friend, so that mean I'm not a racist. It gave, here, damn, shut the hell up, dark-skinned hoes. It gave, hey, can you just do this for me so that these hoes can get off my back, because I'm about tired of hearing about them call me out for what I am. And she did it. Anywho, as a dark-skinned black woman who was a fan of Chris Brown growing up, when we heard that Chris Brown was coming to Vegas and throwing functions, we was like, yes, we was excited. Let's go. We outside. So we was about to go to one of his functions at the Palms. And before we went, the homie hit us up and was like, don't know if y'all should go because Chris Brown does not like dark-skinned women in his functions. We couldn't believe it. We were like, yeah, right. Yeah, right. You're lying. You're hating. We proceed to go. Mind you, this is years ago. Years and years and years ago. We get there to the Palms. One of the homegirls was like, I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm gonna see, if this is true or not. Go upstairs. She come back 5 minutes later, heartbroken. Chris Brown don't allow women our color in his functions. And ever since then,
she's not dark.
I have not liked that nigga. I have not supported that nigga, and I never will. I believe people can have a change of heart. They can grow and realize that they're fucking stupid. But I don't think that's his case. I think he's just more tired of us calling him out for it. Chris Brown is a colorist. That nigga's a racist within his own race. He don't like black women. So why black women continue to support this nigga after time and time and time again that he's proven he's colorist. He's racist within his own race. He's abusive to women. He don't like women. He don't respect women. Why y'all keep spending y'all money to see that nigga? I don't know.
You don't like women now?
Mental. We need to unpack that. Because shouldn't nobody be giving that nigga no money. Except the people he see value in. That's all. Corny.
Okay, the nose ring is obviously telling, and the nose ring theory never fails. So it goes from one point of Chris Brown doesn't like dark-skinned girls, and she consider herself a dark-skinned girl. I don't see nothing. She is golden. She is golden for all intents and purposes. There is nothing dark here. So I'm a little bit confused on who it is that she's supposed to be representing. And I'm a little bit confused as to if you were trying to test the theory, why didn't you take your light bright ass directly up there to see if you could get in? That would have further solidified a point. Why just stay down there? Why not just, okay, you said this person, you said that the quote unquote, we don't know what the friend looks like. She said, quote unquote, the darker complected friend, she couldn't get in there. So why didn't you take your light bright self directly up there to see if you could get past? But you want to stand up here and say that Chris Brown don't like you. Chris Brown don't like y'all. Who is y'all? Because if I had to go back, so case in point, we see this woman here, right? Let's go back to the picture of Chris Brown and his mom. Chris Brown and his mom.
He's so goddamn corny.
This woman here. This woman here, Chris Brown and his mom. She looks within the same complexion as Chris Brown and his mom. So I'm a little bit confused on how she, like, what are we doing? And then it went from a whole thing of like, he doesn't like women who are highly melanated to he doesn't like black women to he doesn't like women at all to he's a racist. Huh? That's a lot of steps. So now he's mad that he's just gay now. That's just like, yo, I kid you. Yo, I swear to goodness, if I was not able to pull a lot of these videos and showcase these to people, people would not believe what it is that I'm saying. People would think that I'm just talking, out of my backside. People would just think that, you just saying whatever because you want to say what. She literally went through a whole line and the end result to basically call the dude because of all of these things. He's obviously he's gay. And I swear to goodness, black men are the only ones that tend to get this online, just in general from the community, right? Black men are the sole only ones that whenever it is that somebody has an issue or a problem with a black man or just with black men in general, it always comes down to number one, he's gay. That is one of the prime. If it's not number one, it's number two. If it's not number one, it's number two. If it's not number two, it is number one. Like I said, that's crazy to me. That is 1000% diabolical to take all of those steps on top of the fact knowing you are within the nose ring theory. And it never fails. As soon as you see this 9 times out of 10, foolishness is going to appear. It is going to come directly from the mouth of said individual. And we were able to hear and witness that, along with the classical music that she felt really was the greatest backtrack that she could sit up there and set up, all to basically state that she, in a sense, hates Chris Brown. He didn't do anything to her. She don't know him. She ain't never have no interaction. She's going off of supposedly what a friend did. And again, we don't even know if that story is even real. That's the crazy part. Because you have a lot of women out here that will fabricate stories because there's a name that's highlighted to it. Because like I said before, Chris Brown is a brand, realistically. That is a name, that is a brand that goes everywhere. You mention that, you can probably generate some traction or whatnot or whatever, especially on TikTok. And a lot of these women decided, oh, his name is hot right now. Oh, let me sit up there and start talking about it real quick. Let me throw that in the title. Let me throw that in the tags. Let me throw that somewhere else directly in the video. Let me say his name 99 different times. And I'm like, wow, that's what we're doing. Gotcha. No problem. We got Brandon V. World. Much love, respect, and appreciation for the $10 dono. He said, dang it, did it again. I didn't know that you were live streaming. No, I just started. Just started. Much love, respect, and appreciation. For the $10 dono. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Somebody what was it? If said high temperament should be a warning to all women, regardless. What else you got? You said, look at what he did to the set of Good Morning America. What else you said? I did see women claiming that no matter what Chris Brown did to them, he would still let them smash. Let me see. Page I will leave y'all. Somebody said abusers caping for abusers. So wait a minute. So because I'm speaking in defense of how all of this is now just supernaturally happening, I'm an abuser caping for that doesn't even, how do we even get here? See, that's what I'll be talking about. This is what I'll be talking about when people have conversations and people just want to randomly start saying stuff and they have no proof of nothing. That's crazy. That is 1,000% crazy. But it'd be like that. Freedom of speech, though, right? It'd be like that. That's your feelings. You don't got no proof to what you're saying about me, though. But whatever. That's some crazy work. Yo, Deshaun Adultery, what is up? What is up? What's up? You said because I heard him on the radio. I heard him on a radio interview he was doing, and he said that he was having. Wait, who are we talking about? Yeah, I'm a little bit confused. You said his father was white. That's exactly what he said. That's what I heard. But if you say he all black, then okay. What? I'm a little bit confused. Like when did Chris Brown's dad become white? I'm a little bit confused. I mean, but all right. Right, I guess I don't know. I don't know. But let's continue to the next video.
Not that y'all done ran Chris Brown off the internet. So this is about to get real Dr. Umarish, pro-black, Deontay College. So if this is not your thing, just go ahead and click off. But if this is your thing, just go ahead and stay on. There's nothing wrong with having a preference. My preference is tall, muscular, skinny, dark-skinned men. That's my preference. His preference is lighter, Asian, biracial women. And it's only a problem if you are upholding a philosophy of white supremacy and white proximity. There's nothing wrong with me having a preference, and there's nothing wrong with him having a preference. I want to state that first. And Chris Brown used to be my preference when it came to, not when he looked like this, but when I was younger in elementary school, I did have a thing for lighter toned men. But I realized later it was the brainwashing and altering of Western society that caused me to prefer lighter people. And it wasn't, I just thought that lighter skinned men look better, because now that I'm older, chocolate men to me are so fine and they look better to me, and that is my preference. But my thing is, I find it very interesting, the Discord. He had Kayla Nicole on stage. Kayla Nicole, everybody was saying brown girl, brown girl. Yes, she is a brown girl because she is black. But she's not far off from the skin tone and the look that his preference is. So I don't know where y'all getting that Kayla Nicole thing from, but that is so far-fetched, and y'all should stop reaching. But when it comes to the girl that came out, I guess today or last night, about how she wasn't able to get passes to go into a VIP section, yeah, what the hell did you think?
Whoop-de-doo.
Did you think that you were different than all the other women who have came on and said this multiple different times? At this point, I'm tired of hearing about it, and I don't want to hear it. In 2 years, I don't want to hear, yes, Chris Brown wouldn't let us in the section, and I'm dark.
darker tone, and the girls that he were letting in were lighter tone Blasian women. That is what he likes. Y'all know he don't like chocolate women. So um why do you keep on entertaining, and why do you keep on putting yourself in a predicament to get turned down? I want to go back to um lighter skin, and if you have that preference, that is okay, unless it's because it's a proximity to whiteness, it's closer to whiteness. And the reason why I say this is because ever since we have been brought over, we have been brainwashed that if you have lighter skin tone, then you are somehow better than people who have darker skin tones, which is not the case, because we are still all getting treated horribly, and we all do not have the same amount of privilege as white skin tones have here in America. And so what white supremacy has did was pit lighter skin tones and darker skin tones of people to against each other, and creates a divide, right? And we've seen this as a way of, in movies, the dark skinned girl is always the loud one. Like in Martin, the dark skinned girl always gets made fun of, which I always felt like Pam was better than Gina. Not because I hated on Gina's skin tone, it's just because Pam's features and her body was always more tea to me than Gina's.
Okay. I hate when people do this, and I specifically saw this. She's the second woman that I've seen basically do this. The other woman was Ari Lennox. I hate the fact that they want to point out on Martin, and they want to just specifically point to, oh, Martin was always sitting up there doing this and that and making dog. Martin was sitting up there cracking jokes on every. It didn't matter who you was. You could be white, Asian, Arab, Mexican, black, light, whatever. He was cracking jokes on everybody, even his own girl, cracking jokes on Cole, cracking jokes, Tommy, cracking jokes, like bruh man, cracking joke. Like, I'm tired of like this narrative where people are trying to always do like this victim type shit where it's like, oh, see how the dark skinned girl always get treated by the black dudes directly. Look at it. Dog, come on, dog. Come on. Like, Jesus Christ. It even became to the point where Pam herself, right? The actress who plays Pam, she came out and basically spoke about it on social media to like calm all of this nonsense down, because people trying to take this like way too, like, come on, dog. First people want to sit up and do the whole thing with like Bernie Mac now, like Martin, come on, man. Come on.
Has nothing to do with skin tone. I just preferably, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and I always thought that looking at it.
Right? She said beauty is an eye of the beholder, right? So let me go to this next exhibit, right? So let me highlight this. If anybody knows who this man is Kane the Conqueror, aka Jonathan Majors, right? I watched and I did videos on this, right? And I showed clips of multiple black women stating that they were like, Jonathan Majors is not attractive. He has like a slavery, civil rights type of face. And I'm like, what the hell does that even mean? It's like, I don't even know. I don't even know what that means. I don't know what that means. Because if that was somebody white who would say that, we would sit up there and call them racist. But yet it's black women sitting up there saying that about Jonathan Majors. Right? And this is a darker brown man. Well, brown with brown, dark brown, somewhere in there. Depending, I guess, if he catches the tan or not. Right? And they were saying how they found him unattractive. And I even did live streams before where I showed Jonathan Majors before all of the muscle and the weight gain, and black women were really disinterested in this man. The interest did not start peaking up until, what I guess you could say, Lovecraft Country. But then after that, it was like more so when it became Creed. When women, specifically black women, were able to sit up there and see how he built himself up, how he looks, aka finished product. Now it was like, oh, now he has a redeeming quality. he has some type of attractiveness, directly about him. Then we also got, let me go to the other brother here. Let me get Michael B. Jordan directly in here. Let me see where's the, get the brother directly in here. Let me see. Let me get that one right there. Right. We got Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan has been getting crucified on social media by way of black women for a very long time because they said that he specifically does not even date black women. Nobody has any type of proof. Nobody can really show 1000% evidence of anything at all. They can just go off of what it is that they think or whatever point of view that they specifically have. And if it's not the area of which that they can say that, oh, he only, he dates everybody else and doesn't date black women, then the other go-to, which I told you about before, is that they'll call him gay. So this is why I be sitting up and saying, it's like there's far stretches that happen. It's like some Stretch Armstrong, Mr. Fantastic, Miss Marvel, type of universal stretching that goes on in order to talk negatively about a black man and then try to categorize him and put him with some type of negative branding, which again is directly crazy. But going back to what the previous woman stated, she said that people are free to have whatever preference that they want to specifically have, and that at one point in time, she herself had a preference of men that looks like Chris Brown, but she was saying that, oh, well, that was more so because of the Western society, white society, and the proximity to the whiteness and all this other type of stuff, and yada yada yada. I guess, right? But let's keep going.
We make darker women to be the villains in movies, and we also give them the archetype of being loud and ghetto, and also like in Precious, giving the bigger black lady the villain role and making her be the mean person, and the lighter skinned lady, who is Mariah Carey, is the savior to come save the day, right? We also see this with slavery. Goes all the way back to slavery, when masters made lighter skinned tone women work in the house and darker skinned work in the field. But when it came to, I'm sure many slaves will say that even though it was more physical in the field, the mental and psychological torture that they had to go through in working in the house probably was 10 times to 20 times worse than it was working in the field.
How do we get to
because
slavery?
of that closeness to whiteness, and also whiteness and blackness being two different things, and there being racism and oppression of one person wanting to feel superior to another, to make psychologically in their mind put them in closer proximity to godness and goodness, and make them feel better about themselves. Okay, do we understand what I'm saying?
No.
So
no,
we don't. When the conversation comes up of preference and colorism, and people are saying, well, if you have a preference of darker guys, does that, or darker people, does that make you colorist? No, because it's not a way of being closer to white or it's not upholding the values of white supremacy and the segregation and the divide of the black community by using skin tones. And I also want to say this, that brown skin shit has to stop. All right? There is lighter tone dark people, and there are darker tone light people. Biracial people are light skinned. Lighter tone people are light skinned. There is nothing wrong with that. But by making 3 fucking rankings is so freaking stupid. We should just, hey, I'm a dark skinned woman. I appreciate lighter skin tone people. in their proximity to blackness and they are a part of me, and their lighter skinned people should say, hey, I appreciate my darker tone brothers and sisters as a part of me in their proximity to blackness, and love each other going either way. The whole
What?
you feel superior over someone because of skin tone is so played out, and that makes you a caricature. I can't say it. Of white
What does
supremacy,
this have to
and
do
you
with
are
Chris
upholding
Brown?
white supremacy values. And I want to say this, and this is my last statement. Racism will never end until colorism ends. All right? Until we get rid of the divide between light skin and dark skin, racism will never end.
Huh?
Black oppression will never end. Because how could you have such hypocrisy to say it's wrong that racist people treat black people this way or people of color this way,
Brother.
and then at the same time uphold values that you are better than darker tone people because of your proximity to whiteness? That makes you one and the same, and that is horrible. So let's stop having this conversation about Chris Brown. We all know he loved them Blasians, and we all know dark-skinned girls is not getting in this section. All right? I'm tired of hearing about it. I don't want to hear about it in the next 2 years because nobody is on your side at this point. We all know what he likes, what his preference is, and you are not it. So stop going around it.
Dog, what did the brother, what the hell just happened? What? This is what I be talking about. This right here is the type of shit that I be talking about, where people use just the name branding and the image of like a black man, and then magically they automatically insert racism. How did we get to the slave master, slaves? We're dealing with house slaves and slaves in the fields. Brother, what are we doing? How do we move from quote unquote him having to a preference to now we're fitting in this, oh, he's colorist, this racist, and white supremacy, oppression, and I need another hamster. I think my hamster fell off the wheel. Like my brain is just brother, the levels of Stretch Armstrong reaching that was that was probably, I don't even know how many minutes that was, and I can't even get those back. I did. Oh my god, there was so much stuff jumbled in there. I don't even think I have enough time in a day to try to break all of that down, because a lot of 99.9% of what she was talking about had zero to do with Chris Brown. Yeah, zero to do with Chris Brown. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yo, that was crazy. Anyways, let me go back to what I said earlier. Usually most men are going to go for a woman that is reflective in some type of way, shape, or form of their mother. And what I'm looking and noticing is that people are, I'm sorry, let me be specific. Let me just be direct. I'm looking at black women online who are around and talking about this subject, in a sense, crucifying Chris Brown because the women that he is either dating or whatnot or whatever are reflective of his mother, and then turn around and say that he doesn't love and like black women. What are we doing? What are we doing? This is some Space Jam era jumping to the rim to reach at this moment in time. I don't understand. If he's dating women that are reflective of his mother and him, how is he in a sense racist? How is that oppressive? How is that holding back or holding down black women? How is that being colorist? Like I'm a little bit confused. For me, like I said, I don't understand. I don't understand. Like I just don't. I don't see it. I don't understand. It doesn't make any type of sense. Like this is just crazy. This is wild. Wild. Anyways, we got more.
Complaining about the light-skinned, tatted up man not bringing people who look like you on stage, it's because you're a colorist just like him. Either want to look like the girls that he's bringing up on stage because they're his type, or you think the girls he's bringing up on stage are pretty, and you want to be a part of the pretty crew. I'm not saying that they are because they're light-skinned. He's saying that they are because they're light-skinned. Yet you keep supporting a man who is also light-skinned, also tatted, has a very peppered past when it comes to the abuse of women, because you are colorist. But you don't think you're colorist because you're darker skinned. Any one time someone tries to mention this problematic light-skinned man, you go to bat for him because you agree with his behavior, but he makes good music. Does he? Is it worth your morals? And if the answer to that question is yes, stop complaining that man is colorist. Just shut up and dance.
I You know what? I'm not even going. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm moving on. I'm moving to the next video. I'm moving to the next video.
Has deactivated his Instagram account because some dark-skinned women have come out to say that he's a colorist. I mean, this story has been said multiple times. So if people are saying the same thing about you over the years, then there has to be some truth to it. Even though we never heard Chris Brown out his mouth say that he doesn't like dark-skinned women, if they keep getting denied by his security, right, even after y'all buy the VIP tickets, and it's always dark skins that say this, then there's some truth to that. All right, but here's my thing. Why, if y'all know this, I mean, this has been said multiple times. If you know this, when are y'all going to actually stop supporting Chris Brown? Stop buying his tickets. Stop going to his shows? Because guess what? He's not going to change. He's not going to change. If he has a preference that's anything lighter, light as him or lighter or something like that, then I don't know what to tell you. You've seen the type of women he's been with. What are we doing? Like what are y'all doing? So like, and then guess what? It's gonna be some more videos of some more dark-skinned women saying that he's a colorist. Okay, well, stop supporting him. You have the power. You got to start asking yourself, is your money worth Chris Brown? And if it's not, then stop buying his tickets.
And again, I'm going to just go right back to this image right here of Chris Brown and his mom. So if the women that he dates are reflective of his mother, he is a racist, he is a colorist, he is an oppressor of black women. Like the stretching out here doesn't make any sense. The only thing that I will sit up there and agree directly with is that if you feel some certain type of way, then obviously you shouldn't be supporting a person. It is that simple. It is literally that simple. But as I stated before, it seems as though that people want to try to figure out a way on how to bring down Chris Brown. That's from my point of view, from everything that I've looked at over the last decade plus of the continuous this, that, and the thirds, and people want to sit up there and talk about this and that of his past and all this other type of it's highly crazy to me. And then a moment in time that people do want to at least stand up and be like, yo, people doing a little bit too much. Just like you saw on my live stream, it has somebody basically call me an abuser because I'm defending Chris Brown. And that's a little bit wild to me. That's a little bit far fetched. That's quite a bit of a reach. Because if I were to actually ask that person to establish any 100% evidence in front of the crowd that I abuse women, I would love to see it. I would love to see it, and also showcase those women. They wouldn't be able to do it. Wouldn't be able to do it at all. But like I said, it's very easy for people to make up these types of brandings and place them directly on people, right? Because if a woman says that the guy is an abuser, automatically he has to be an abuser. People don't care about anything else after or what happened during. People don't even care if things were mutual combat. Nobody cares about that. Not you're abuser. Like I said, I guess whatever. Like I said, I'm tired of the whole people going back and forth trying to bring up the whole thing of Rihanna and stuff. I'm like, bro, where are we at right now? Where are we at? Crazy work. Anyways, let's continue with the next one.
Chris Brown is a colorist. Oh my goodness, this isn't news. He's only told you about 1 billion times that he does not F with black women. Same story, different day. A dark-skinned woman couldn't get into Chris Brown's section. And because of all the backlash, he deactivated his social media. Don't you recall the time he made a song stating that he only likes women with the quote-unquote curly hair? Or the time Tokyo Vanity said that she had a run-in with Chris Brown at the club where he wasn't allowing any darkies in his section. And didn't he also say that dark-skinned women don't look good with red lipstick? Oh wait, that was A$AP Rocky. My point is, a lot of your faves hate you, and you just refuse to take the rejection. It could redirect you to some music that doesn't involve taking you down or freaking you back to sleep. I know it's a foreign concept, but maybe we should start supporting people that support us. It's obviously not about preference. People are using that term way too loosely. He only performs with black women. He doesn't date them. It's very clear that Chris is only interested in Karrueche lookalikes. Let me be the spokesperson for Chris Brown for a second. I don't want you dark, nappy-headed groupies around me unless you can pass a paper bag test or pay $1,000. You're welcome. I love ya.
It's a lot of things going on in this video. See, it's a lot of things going on directly in this video. A lot of things, also including the newscaster voice, the quote unquote code switching voice. As I stated before, let me just go back again, right? And I want people to pay attention that the greater majority of the women that have been, in a sense, showcased have had a certain complexion directly up there. Now, I mean, we've had some light ones directly up there, right? But for all intents and purposes, she's out there in the sun. You can clearly see brown, right? Let's go back to, again, Chris Brown. What does he look like? What does his mom look like? Usually people tend to date people that resemble or have a type of similarity or whatnot or whatever of their parents. Chris Brown is dating women, as people have stated, who in a sense have a resemblance of being light. Chris Brown is a light-skinned man. We also have Chris Brown's mom, light-skinned woman. I'm just a little bit confused on how this is lost directly on people on how this specifically works. Because it's crazy to me how, again, if you got black women out here that got a preference, it's just a preference. It has nothing to do with texturism. It has nothing to do with colorism or any of those things, right? But if a black man has the exact same thing as black women, he's colorist, he's texturist, he's an oppressor, he's a racist, he's a supremacist. And I'm like, what loops, what portals do we have to go through to find the universe of which that if somebody's doing the same thing that you're doing, they're obviously the opposite. They're the racist. They're the problematic ones, not you, or not both people. That's the highest stretch to ever see in life. And again, I want to also go back to Exhibit B, which is Kayla Nicole, who obviously her preference is white men. She was with Travis Kelce. This is pretty much what she is known for, right? All over the web. Because I don't know her from anything else. I'm just gonna be honest. If women out there know her for other stuff, that's cool. That's great on you. I'm just saying, for me being a guy, I don't know her for anything else but being with Travis Kelce. I really don't. I don't really know her for anything else. I'm sorry. And she lost because she specifically stated that she is not a 50-50 type of girl. Even though Travis Kelce was giving her money per month and she was stating that that was not enough money. That's crazy. That's broke behavior. Because if it was a man sitting up there stating that the woman who was giving him money and she wasn't giving him enough, every woman out here will call that dude broke. She has broke behavior. And she was dealing with a rich guy that obviously had way more money than she has. But because she decided that she was better than the program, Travis like, you know what? Let me go find somebody that looks like my mom or that resembles the women in my community. Bow, let me get Taylor Swift real quick. And that's a woman that got money. I don't got to worry about trying to pay for or facilitate. I can just do it because I want to, not because it's a need. Well, and now they're engaged. Soon enough to be married. Some crazy work, though. Diabolical work. But like I said, for me, I feel that people should be allowed to have preferences. Nobody realistically should have a problem or an issue. But that's not the society or the world that we live in, right? My mind is makeshift reality, right? But yet I got to make sure that I live within a reality because I got to face the facts of what is, right? But let's continue down the road.
Call me crazy, call me radical, but going to the concert of a known colorist and abuser as like a barely brown-skinned woman does not make you like Bell Hooks. You are not Gloria Steinem. You are a bird who wanted to see Chris Brown and shake your ass on stage. And I was going to say like that is okay, but it's not okay. But like we need to own our choices. Not everything that we do is an act of feminism.
Yeah. She made some points there. Everything is not an act of feminism. Because going back to the main comment, I'm not sure if people are able to see that at the tail end. Like I said, for the 99.9% of, and again, I'm not even really trying to agree with this woman at all, or anything like that. But what I'm saying is the rest of her comment that you see directly in front of you, it was completely fine. It was the last part that now became an issue and it became problematic because she said, and I overly did it when she was on stage with Chris Brown. She said, and I overly did it for my brown girls. Because she was basically throwing gasoline on lava. Because for the longest time possible, again, as the videos that you were able to see, you got women out here that's, oh, Chris Brown colors, racist, don't like black women, don't like black women, don't like black women, don't like y'all, don't like y'all, don't like y'all. This has been the main discourse. This has been the main thing that has been harped on for the longest time possible. And she came directly up there and went on social media and decided to write that. And Chris Brown had the reply, miss me with the colorist rage baiting. And he's right. Because that's all it was. She had an ulterior motive. She lost out with Travis Kelce. Her name was in the light for a minute. She loved it. She was highlighted, right? She was loved and praised by black women everywhere, being with Travis Kelce, being with a Caucasian man, right? And now she lost that to a white woman. She lost that to Taylor Swift. So it's really no more press junkets. She ain't going round and round. Nobody really cares about her. Nobody's really, looking at her name. Nobody's trying to figure out what she's doing. Nobody's trying to figure out her next move. So now this is her next move. She went to a Chris Brown concert. It was easy for her to get on the stage because of who it is that she is. And, they sat up there and danced or whatever it was. And then she decided to go on social media and say that. So now her name is back in the light again. And I'm pretty sure come a moment in time, probably going to see her on somebody's podcast. People are going to ask her questions and all this other type of stuff. So many games get played time and time again, and people don't even see it. And I'm literally watching one woman start up a fire all over again, just so that she can have a little bit more, a longer version of 15 minutes of fame, at the cost of a black man, his celebrity, branding, name, and all of that. Anyways, let's continue.
Just real quick, colorism is not a preference. I wish that y'all would stop saying that. It's really ignorant. Colorism is based in racism. It's not about a preference. And this is how I'll explain that. The Chris Brown situation. Chris Brown can date whoever he wants to date, but who you want to date has nothing to do with your fans wanting to party with you. So as a woman, if a woman gets on here one more time talking about how I like dark-skinned men, okay, so have you ever been to a party? Have you ever had a get-together and there's an option of men there that you may want to date? Are you going to tell the light-skinned men that they can't come in because you only want dark-skinned men? Never in the land of niggerdom have I ever heard of a woman.
Hold on. So you said you are a piece of work. How can you say no one cares about this woman? But then I guess I could say the same about you as well. Because I'm not a subscriber, I'm just a passerby. I just had to sit up there and look real. Okay, so obviously you're older than me. That's cool, no problem. Gotcha. So I can say that because I'm a content creator. I'm technically within like the realms, just like how comedians make jokes about politics, anything that's out there. I'm a content creator, and I take notice and I pay attention to what women pay attention to, what men pay attention to, what the younger generation pays attention to, what the older generation tends to pay attention to, or what people pay attention to in general, because I cover a lot of those topics here. So that's how I can specifically come directly out of the blue and say that nobody cares, because in order to care, that would mean that you would see her all over social media like she was before with Travis Kelce. Like I said, I covered her story quite a bit when she was in the media, because she was in the media, which proved that people care. If she showed up, there was going to be ratings, there was going to be views, people are going to be able to pay and have their highest advertisements on during that point in time. Right? She was on Angel Reese. She was on some other shows and yada, yada, yada. I think she might have a book or whatever it is. Right? So then after all of that dissipated, because there was no more being attached to Travis Kelce and nobody really cared, because the whole Travis Kelce thing moved on to Taylor Swift being married and engaged and all this other type of stuff. Now she was just some random girl. And that is what it is. So now she's back up in the public eye. So like I said exactly what I said, and I meant exactly that. I don't know how else to sit up there and tell you. I don't know how else to sit up there and tell you, ma'am. I really don't. I really don't. And it's cool that, what did you say? And you guess you could say the same about me about not caring. I mean, that's whatever. I don't actually care. But you cared enough to sit up there and write that in the comments, so you obviously care somewhat. You cared enough to actually make a full-fledged comment about your disapproval. And for whatever reason, I'm not sure. Maybe you might be a family member. I'm not sure, but you need to relax. You getting way too offended because I said nobody cares about what she's doing anymore. What about that I miss? What about that did I specifically mess up on that you're just like, I just got to get uberly offended about this now and stand up for this black woman? This is, come on now. Come on, man. Jesus Christ. But anyways, let's go back to what this woman was saying. Let me just run that back real quick.
About how I like dark-skinned men. Okay, so have you ever been to a party? Have you ever had a get-together and there's an option of men there that you may want to date? Are you going to tell the light-skinned men that they can't come in because you only want dark-skinned men? Never in the land of niggerdom have I ever heard of a woman telling men that they can't come into a party because they're light-skinned. It's not a preference. It's colorism. And y'all can date whoever you want to date. But when it comes to who we're inviting into a club setting, when it comes to what fans we're actually going to engage with, we're only going to engage with fans that we have the prospect to fuck. That's the issue right there. But then that would require women to not be so fucking thirsty. So, girl, again, colorism is not a preference. Y'all be safe out there.
Right. So oh no, D Money, she good. No. No. She's an older woman. She's good. No. She stays here. Oh no. No. So you said, and you cared enough to comment on my post. Seems like it hit you in the gut. I'm not about to do it. So what I will say, what I will say, is that I make comments because people decide to come to the live stream and they want to speak. They want to talk, right? They want to have this type of back and forth, right? So you decided that you didn't like what it is that I stated. I, as a content creator, the person that is directly on this, I decided to make a reply because you obviously made a reply that was directed towards me. You didn't direct it towards anybody else that is within the live stream realms of the chat. You didn't direct it towards any other men directed out there. So yes, I'm going to sit up there and make a reply if somebody decides that they're calling for my attention, which obviously you did, right? So then you said, and you said nobody cares about this woman is what you said. I know what I said. I know exactly what I said, and I meant exactly what I said as a content creator, as somebody that's out here on social media, as somebody who literally follows a lot of these things that takes place, right? Like I said, this is what content creators do. So we're more on this than you are, because, like I said, you can do whatever you want to do in your pastime and your free time, but this is what we do for content creation. So again, we're more aware, we're more into this than you are. We have way more of a situational awareness of these things and how people are being talked about on social media, where people tend to apply. Like I said, going back to Kayla Nicole, she's not really showing up on platforms like she was. Like I said, when anything was attached to Travis Kelce, yeah, she was showing up frequently. It didn't matter what she was talking about. She was automatically showing up because her name was hot during that time and it was going to bring in views. It was going to bring in money. Her name wasn't hot for a long time. As soon as hey, now you got the Taylor Swift thing. It kind of came right back in there because people wanted to bring her name back up, but it still didn't do anything. And then once the engagement hit, when it was like, yo, they're getting married, oh, it was all over. Nobody was going to bring her name up anymore. Her name ain't going to be hot. They ain't going to be selling tickets. It ain't going to be moving to and from and all this other type of stuff. Ain't going to be doing that. But now it's Chris Brown. And like I said before, people got to understand the calculated moves, the chess moves that are being made at this moment in time. Chris Brown is, in a sense, one of the most hated black men out here to exist at this moment in time, continuously for like the last 10 years consistently. I can't give you another black man that is more hated at this moment in time than Chris Brown. And I'm saying consistently for over 10 years. Can't give you nobody. So what I'm looking at is that she's trying to get her name directly back out there. How else do a lot of women tend to get their names back out there? They happen to attach it to a male celebrity. They're not going to attach it to a woman. Women don't really, in a sense, make other women famous like that. People don't really care. And I'm just being honest. Women are highlighted once they're attached to a prominent man or a man with power, a man with status, a man with money. That's just the way that the world works. If you disagree, that's whatever. I don't know what to sit up there and tell you. I'm going by what it is that I know and what it is that I see. Like I said, Meghan Markle, other than her being, up there with the royals, people didn't really know who Meghan Markle was. Nobody was really paying attention. Nobody was seeking her out. People was like, oh, Meghan, that's the the girl that's married with Harry and them. Yeah. Now, once she has her name attached to something, right, that's prominent, something that has power, something that has status, oh, now people sitting up there searching and looking. Like I said, Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Somebody said D-Money the shooter. Oh Lord. Oh, let me go look at something real quick. Let me see. Because I swear to goodness, let me see real quick. Oh, you know what the funny part is? So now I understand what ah yo Sham. Now I understand what you were talking about. I did not have it on the other channel. I don't even know. Will it even let me start it on there? It probably will. It probably will. But it's going to be a lot of Johnny Come Latelys. I'm not even sure how that even happened, but it'd be like that. It'd be happening. It's some crazy work out here though. But let me just I gotta check something real quick because I had to look. Sham, I wish you would have told me that it was on the first one. You did technically say it, but I didn't actually gather what it was that you were specifically saying at the moment. I didn't exactly gather it. Shout out to Sham though. You did try to tell me. You 100% did try to tell me. Oh man, that's terrible. But anyways, like I said, that's specifically what I was going on about and specifically stating. Let me see is the lady even still here real quick? Let me see something. Dun dun dun. Oh yeah, I guess not. Guess she might be up out of there. It'd be like that. It be like that. Let me see schedule. Put it right there. All right. So now we got that set up. All right. So anybody that just came in, potentially even from like the other channel, much love, respect, and appreciation. Live stream was supposed to be directly only on one channel, but we got it on two right now because I messed up earlier. It'd be like that. But here we are. So this is gonna be a short live stream in a sense for the secondary channel for people looking at it. But like, yo, what's the conversation? What specifically is everybody talking about? But I'm gonna re-go over some stuff a little bit later. Right. So now let's go because we had the lady with the glasses. Let's go to the next video here.
It's funny how y'all made Chris Brown deactivate his Instagram because of colorism. But when black women find a white man, y'all praise the fuck out of it. I ain't gonna bring this to Nicolandria, but every other situation or circumstances where a black woman chooses a white man, the white man is clearly the best decision because black men somehow hate black women. But now Chris Brown is wrong for appreciating the light-skinned women. Like y'all just
right. And when I saw this clip online, right, there were women directly under there specifically trying to tell the dude, like, yo, so what proof do you specifically have of anything of which that you're talking about? And I'm like, man, I wish I could actually just like post that in the comment section just to give a little bit of insight. But again, they don't allow you to do that really on a lot of social media platforms because I actually have a clip that fits directly in with everything that he stated, right? So let's go to this next clip, and it's wild. It's wild.
And white men are more or so equally yoked in the grander scheme of things. No shade, LT. I know y'all.
Let's just repeat that again.
Black women and white men are more or so equally yoked in the grander scheme of things. No shade, LT.
One more time. One more time in the people in the back, just in case they don't understand what she said.
Black women and white men are more or so equally yoked in the grander scheme of things. No shade, LT. I know y'all probably both like, what the hell? But that's
explain your math.
All right.
Explain your math.
All right.
It's a nice building. Nice building.
Yo, this
Listen,
dude.
beautiful gowns is crazy. When you look at where black women fall, at least household wise, head of household, education, leading in education right now, the responsibilities that we have, most of the time, we're a little bit closer to each other and understanding. Whereas,
so hold on.
Hey,
Listen,
don't you do it.
I hate.
Don't
listen,
say nothing.
Well,
Well, who are black men? Who is our companion then? Who we got? If that's the dynamic.
I'm speaking of when it comes to interracial relationships. I'm not saying it in the sense of like, oh, I feel like black women and white men should be together. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Oh.
But a lot of the times, I'm saying in the situations where it does happen, if you look at like Serena Williams and whatever man she
I don't want
married
to look
to,
at that. That upsets me. I'm
listen.
mad. You shouldn't have never even brought that up.
Why? They're the ones calling her big black.
You don't think white men was doing that too?
Yeah, they were definitely doing it. They was doing it the most.
Them doing it is not a surprise to me.
I ain't
Black men
mad.
doing it is wild.
Right? So we heard that, right? She said out of her own mouth, and for all intents and purposes, we're looking at a black woman, right? She said from her own mouth that black women and white men are more equally yoked. But then the question came in, so if that's the case, right? If black women and white men are supposed to be the match of the universe, right? So then what does that leave black men with? Didn't hear nothing. Didn't hear not a thing, right? Because she's not going to sit up there and say that, oh, well, black men, well, maybe you should go seek love elsewhere. Maybe you should do some interracial. She's not going to say that, because videos that I've showcased before, you've had black women honestly say that they praise and are happy for other black women out there when they are dating white men. Going back to case in point, exhibit B right here. A lot of women online were praising this. Had no problem with this, had no issues. Even though I'm looking at Travis Kelce, I'm looking at the haircuts, I'm looking at the way he styled, the jewelry, and all of that. I'm like, this is basically everything is like in a sense in a black male image, but it's just a white dude. But it sells. It's all fine and dandy, right? No problems, right? You can have like the low haircut, have like the lines going directly through, might have some grills or something like that. A nice, bust down watch. Like I said, it's all cool, it's all gravy, right? But then in the same vein, those same women that praise her for being with a white man, they look down upon a black man for being with anybody else other than them. And they'll sit up there and say online that they want, no matter how crazy it sounds, they want black men to specifically, while, black women are out here doing their own thing, doing whatnot or whatever, being white dudes or whoever, they want those black men to specifically still be for them, to still be given attention or love and all those things. Don't be going nowhere else, but still stay here, even though I'm doing, my own thing directly over. And I'm like, that don't make no sense. I'm like, that's a little bit, I'm highly lost and confused. I'm like, I'm highly confused. I'm highly lost and confused. I'm highly lost and confused when it deals with a lot of those things. Right? So you said that it couldn't be that people are trying to cancel Chris Brown because he's an abuser. It's gotta be something else. I mean, the main thing that everybody keeps bringing up is Rihanna. I'm like, I'm a little bit. This is my thing, right? This is the thing that I bring up a lot, right? For a lot of the women that got an issue with Chris Brown and whatever, and again, the whole thing around it, that was like he was like 19, 20, whatever, right? Irregardless, the amount of like fight and energy that I see online that is given to Chris Brown, it would be incredible. Wait, give me 1 second. Okay, so we got somebody in here that was like, so it's okay to be women if you're 19 or 20. Nobody said that. But what I did say before is that it was mutual combat. And the other thing that I find a little bit interesting that whenever people want to bring up Chris Brown is that they don't bring up the fact that Rihanna was like, "Oh, forgive him," right? All of whatever took place, whatever happened, she moved past that, right? They were even seen together after the fact. They sat up there and took pictures after the fact. They had conversations after the fact. But yet, for whatever reason, y'all are still stuck directly on that. Regardless of whatever it is that Rihanna's now doing. She's with A$AP Rocky, got 3 kids, she's a billionaire, all this other type of stuff. But yet you guys are still trying to hold on to these pitchfork and these torches. Y'all still going back to the 2000s, to some early 2000s. We're in 2025 right now. I'm like, huh? I'm like, that's a little bit crazy to me. I'm like, the amount of dedication and energy that y'all give to this whole situation dealing with Chris Brown and Rihanna, it'd be beautiful if y'all would give that to the same situations of which either your relationships or the men directly in your family. It'd be great if you were actually to do that, but you don't, and you won't. You won't sit up there and put them on blast directly on social media. You won't make umpteen burner accounts to sit up there and go on said person's social media and start throwing this and that and all this other type of stuff directly. Y'all will never put that same energy to those who are close by, who are actually affecting you or who have actually affected you. You won't actually do that. But when it deals with Chris Brown, supernaturally, it's like, yeah, we gotta sit up there and do that. We gotta do that. Somebody said, read the police reports, you coward. Did you not hear what I just said up there and told you? Do people not understand that Rihanna moved past that? So realistically, both Rihanna and Chris Brown moved past that. So y'all should actually too, but yet y'all don't want to do that. And again, like I said before, when it deals with celebrities, y'all stick directly on this. But when it deals with actually doing some hard work, which is somebody that you're either in an actual relationship with, right? Or a family member, y'all don't got this energy. Don't got this energy. Like, that's crazy. Like, that is crazy. And then on top of that, I want to remind people that they were driving on the highway. They were driving Lamborghini at the time. And when she decided that she wanted to start swinging on this dude in a moving vehicle, like, yo, that's some crazy. That is diabolical. That is diabolical. Like I said, it's crazy to me how people tend to forget. It's crazy how you got the name Jesus. I'm pretty sure it means Jesus, but it's crazy how you got Jesus directly in your name, right? Or looking at your name is supposed to be Jesus H. Christ, right? It's crazy how you talking about everybody's supposed to be forgive or everybody's supposed to forgive him because Rihanna did, but looking at your name, isn't that what Jesus would do? Jesus normally teaches those to forgive those, right? Who have done wrong things. You should not hold the past against them. Like I said, this is how I know. This is how I know that y'all full of clownery directly out here. That's exactly how I know, full of clownery. Diabolical. Mrs. Smith said it's the newer generation attacking him. We have moved on. Nah, I've seen older women. Trust me. Trust and believe I've seen older women still going at him online. Well, not directly at him, but still talking about him online. Trust me. That's the one beautiful thing about the internet is that if you want to find it, you will. And I'm talking about of recent years, of recent times. Yo, Bushido, what is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? What is going on? I mean, I don't care if you feel like irregardless is not a word. I say it on my platform, so it don't matter. I'm the one talking. You're just typing in the comment section, so it'd be like that. The D say you're talking about Chris Brown, but you're showing Travis Kelce pics. Why? Because the woman that is involved in the whole situation of why it is that the reaction is taking place is the black girl that you see here. Michelle Nicole, whichever her name is. I lose the name. I lose track sometimes. But the black woman that you see directly in there, this is basically the uproar of why it is that Chris Brown deleted his social media at this moment in time and said miss me with um the colorist rage bait. It was because of her. Because she specifically said, and again, the whole rest of her statement that she made about going to the Chris Brown concert or being on stage, all of that 99.9% was all cool. It was good. No problem. It was the last part that became problematic and showed that she had an ulterior motive. Because after she said that, that's when the firestorm basically rekindled on social media, when women started coming out the woodworks and making these videos that they've been making for the last 10 years. Chris Brown is a colorist. Chris Brown is a racist. Chris Brown is sexist. Chris Brown doesn't like black women. Chris Brown this and everything negative about Chris Brown that they could potentially say, they're online sitting up there doing it. And the main thing that I pointed out to people is that if we're to pay attention about who an individual is attracted to, we pay attention to what is at home, right? Because usually people, as what has been stated before, is that normally people will tend to like or people will tend to find certain types of things that remind them of their parents, that have a familiarity about them in another person. Chris Brown is a light-skinned man. Chris Brown's mom is a light-skinned woman. And again, this is not me saying he has a preference. I'm just pointing out the fact that these are two light-skinned people. So within that, what is Chris Brown going to sit up there and date? More than likely light-skinned women, right? Proof of which, let me go to this one. Let me go. Let me see if we can get this one right here, right? So let me go, because I've yet to sit up there, but I think that's also because a lot of women don't, I guess. I haven't seen a lot of women try to say anything about Steph Curry. When it deals with attractiveness, like they're really chasing after him. I've seen the certain groupings of women that be really eyeing Steph Curry, which are white women directly, sitting in the seats. But let's look at this, right? So we see Chris Brown, right? Exhibit A. Let's go to Exhibit C, right? What do we notice here? Steph Curry. He's a light-skinned man with a light-skinned woman, right? So now, let's go to Steph Curry's parents, correct? Because it's crazy that I got to try to make a point like this, because it should be very much apparent to a lot of people directly out there, but I guess people not, they don't want to pay attention. Again, people will find a way, if they want to hate you, they'll find a way to sit up there and hate you in any which way it goes, right? So let me just put these two images together, right? So I can get this up there. Let me just crop this just a little bit more. Do that. All right, so the next picture image that we're going to have directly up there, right, is that we're going to look at directly at Steph Curry. Let me let that load up. Should be able to place that because it's a picture, right? Let me take the image. Let me take that directly down. Let me try to do it like that. I guess you should be able to see it, right? You see Steph Curry and his parents. Let me take down the banner real quick, right? So if you look at the top, you got Steph Curry's father, you got Steph Curry's mother, you got Steph Curry, and then you got Steph Curry's wife. Everybody is within the exact same skin tone. Do we not understand? Is it not making sense to people? Steph Curry is with a woman that is close enough to complexion of his mother. That is the exact same thing when dealing with Chris Brown, that's roughly the exact same thing that people keep talking about, like, oh, Chris Brown only dates these certain types of. Look at his mom. right? And the funny thing is, looking at Chris Brown's mom, it almost reminds me of Steph Curry and them, which is crazy. Wait, where'd that picture go? Okay, there we go. It's right there. It's crazy because Aisha Curry, who was Steph Curry's wife, reminds me of Chris Brown's mom. But like I said before, these are everybody here is light, but you don't. I've yet to witness people be like, "Oh, Steph Curry, he's colorist." Like, it's crazy. I've yet to sit up there and see that. Let me see. Somebody said, are there any? Somebody said, be mindful of the company that you keep. I don't even know what a marker is. I don't even know what that is. Let me see. Somebody's repeating the exact same thing. Somebody said, grown man, by the way. I don't even know what that means. Omar said, having that as your name is disrespectful to Jesus. It'd be like that. It'd be like that, 100%. Somebody said, how can a person who sins tell someone Chris Brown can be forgiven for his past and or present sins? It's crazy work. Mohoko said, we live rent-free in y'all's minds. That's bars. That is bars. Chris T said he's choosing women who phenotypically look like him, and that is his preference. Yep. Let me see what else we got directly up in here. I'm trying to see. Somebody said, oh, so we got somebody that's trying to get banned. No problem. Get that ass banned. We got you. We got you. Oh, what's up, Gail? Wait, did I just see Gail in here? What is up, Gail? Much love, respect, and appreciation. I'm trying to just fly through these comments. Jonathan said, just sitting around judging other dudes is a real miserable existence. But if it makes you feel better about yourself and your limitations and insecurities, keep on at it. Somebody said, you said people just sit and wait for people to slip up. What a miserable existence. Satan comes to accuse, not to repair broken homes. Somebody said I would be lucky to even have Steph's mom to even look at me. I don't even know what that means. I never even stated that I was trying to get at Steph's mom. Steph's mom is with a white man, so I don't even know where you even trying to go specifically with that. But all right, you got it. You got it. Somebody said, what does skin color have to do with who you fall in love with? Let me see. Somebody said, Omar said you must be sheltered. People get into fights all the time. 3 in a decade, not bad. Yo, Rabbit, what is up? What is up? You said, I guess light-skinned people just like each other. I'm Cameroonian cousin. That the only light-skinned person like light-skinned men, despite 95% of men in our region are dark-skinned, like biracials and light-skinned men. Somebody said black children born into, I don't know why people trying to bring up some random ass stats. That's crazy. This, the funny thing is, the whole live stream don't have nothing to do with white people. And yet I got people in here trolling, trying to talk about some stats. This ain't even that live stream, guys, because best believe I would have already had everything prepared direct. I mean, I do have the stats directly up there, but I don't feel like doing it. Got to catch me on a different day. Somebody Said what? Sean said hit the like button. That's bars. That's bars. Um somebody said maybe if he stopped trying to buy women, uh well, maybe if he stopped buying women, they would stop trying to cancel him. What are you talking about buying women? I'm a little bit confused. I'm a little bit confused. I guess Mahoko got somebody up out of here. Said good games. Yep. Yep, that's crazy. Somebody telling me to show my face. I mean, go look at some previous live streams. I mean, you know what? It's 2025. I'm not judging, but I don't swing that way. Because that's a little bit weird to me, and I know for a fact that you're more than likely a guy. It's a little bit weird, but like I said, I ain't judging. It's 2025, right? But yeah, you might want to. You can probably go on Grinder or whatever sites that y'all got to look for some black guys you'll probably be interested in. Next we got from Rabbit said, my cousin, the only light-skinned person in the family, likes light-skinned men despite. Okay, yeah, I got you. Tippy said men still bashing black women as a whole and not the odd ones. I see. Some crazy work out here. Somebody said, man, let me see. Hold on. What? Oh, I know these are trolls. Yeah. Oh, you repeated that twice? No problem. I got you. Get that ass banned real quick. Somebody said, y'all weird. Get a life. Ismail said, hey, yo, said you pause. Yo, that's crazy. Like I said. But anyways, like I said before, the whole thing is it makes completely no sense. We went over quite a few videos. Wait, what? Wait, Nicole Smith. What specifically are the lies? Let me know what you're talking about. Lincoln said I came in late. Sorry, no problem. It's all good. Let me know what you're talking about. When Hoko says so many trolls today. Yeah, the reason that happened is because of the other page. Sham technically had told me, but I didn't catch on at the moment. I'm like, yeah, let me sit up here and go live and da 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 da. And then I was like, oh, this is the wrong one. So I had to redo it. I had to redo it. It'd be like that. I'm waiting. I'm trying to see. Let me see if I can go back to her. I'm trying to wait for Nicole Smith, so I can see what she's talking about. I'm just trying to figure out. Big said other women won't let Breezy get canceled. No, yeah, that's true. That's true. Tippy said I used to care about black people dating out. Now I don't even care anymore. Just keep your mouth shut about black people and don't complain when your white partner be racist. No, that's facts. I 1000% agree. Directly with that. I 100% agree directly with that. But like I said before, all of this was completely fine and dandy up until she decided to put that last part directly in her comment that she had on that IG post. Everything was all good. Everything was all good. It just didn't have to sit up there and just magically, I did this. I overly did it for the brown girls, as if you were like representing, like you really made a move. You really did something big. I'm like, man, brother. My uncle said, I got you, said you, no worries. Thank you. Jonathan said cancel culture is ingenuine, a lot of visual signaling. Yeah, that's true. 100%. 100%. Let me see. So Lincoln said what I'm gonna talk about. So basically, okay, so let me go back over. Okay. So what ended up taking place was the fact that Kayla Nicole ended up making a comment. She went to a Chris Brown concert. She got on stage. She danced directly with him. And then after that, she made a post on IG. And then she said this, right? So let me just go back through what she specifically wrote on the IG. You can see it in front of you. You might not be able to see it close up, but let me just read it for you. It said, well, that was fun. Had to really do it for the teenage me blasting Chris Brown in her bedroom, for the mini me who saw him at her first concert, for the woman who sometimes feels like she has to be a monolith instead of multi-layered. I did it for the smart girls, the cool girls, the sexy girls, the fun girls, for all of us who are all of those things at once. And I overly did it for my brown girls. So within that, everything that she stated that she was, doing it to represent all of the other girls in other boxes and whatnot, spectrums, or whatever you want to call it, that's all great. That's all cool, right? 99.9% of what she said was cool, no problem. It was the last part that started a whole nother problem up again. It reopened Pandora's box. Because the main thing that I stated before is that Chris Brown, everybody was focused on, Chris Brown is selling out stadiums. He's going to Africa. He's going to South America, Canada. He's in the UK. Like, he's going all over. He's selling out. He's doing well, right? Again, Chris Brown is at a height. He is at his highest of highs at this moment in time because he's going around, touring music, people loving it. He's doing the meet and greets. Women are throwing down thousands of dollars to, go take pictures with them, personalized pictures and all these things, right? The highest of highs that he's at. He's on top of the universe. And the thing that I've noticed, like I said before, is at the moment in time that Chris Brown is at a height, somebody somewhere has to try to do something to bring him back down to earth. And that's what I'm looking at this moment in time. That's clear cut what I'm looking at this moment in time on how the situation is pretty much taking place, right? Case in point, one of the examples is we can go back to one of the shorter videos, which is this one here.
A dark-skinned woman who's still going to see Chris Brown, support Chris Brown, and you get discriminated against in any kind of way because of your skin tone, do not get on here complaining. How many times are we gonna have to tell you hoes that man do not like y'all? He don't like y'all. He don't prefer y'all. He don't want y'all there. He don't want y'all around. How many times are we gonna have to tell you that? So if you're gonna continue to take your ass to Ike Turner's concerts, understand we don't care if you get your ass on here complaining because you know how he is. That man been telling you how he is for years. He been showing you how he is. The only thing that man wants from you is your money for that ticket, that $1,000 for that VIP pass, and for you to get the fuck out of his face. When are you gonna understand that? It don't matter how much you love him, how fine you think you are, how long you been a fan, or any of that shit. He does not want you around. So don't complain when you get treated badly around him because you knew better.
Right, so we heard that. I also want to give a shout out to a lot of the trolls that are currently in here at this moment in time. Let me just shout one out real quick, right? This person said, why are all of you streamers on YouTube expletive morons? Next, they said, who told you you were interesting? Why do you think anyone needs to hear your opinions? See you expletive. The one thing I love directly about doing social media is that you don't have to actually listen directly to me. There's a little button directly up there where you can actually hit block, and I won't show directly up in your feed. Or you could actually, probably skip, and you won't come back here. But chances are you will, because I am inevitable. That's why you're here. Shout out to Thanos. It's crazy. It's diabolical out here. Like I said, I love when the trolls pull directly up to the scene. It's a very beautiful time. It lets me know that you love me. It lets me know that a lot of my live streams are going places. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for putting that directly in the comment section. I love it 100%. That's why I showcase the ignorance, as I like to sit up there and say, because a lot of people have a problem with the way that I happen to speak or break down some words sometimes, paraphrase, whatnot, whatever. So I'm going to make sure to do that because I know it's going to get on your nerves because we got a lot of grammar Nazis, grammar police directly out here. Crazy work. Carl Brotherman says, Set, you got to make a rule that these trolls must take a shower first before joining the live, quicker to get them to disappear. That's diabolical. That is diabolical in nature. But again, going back to this previous woman here, like I said before, the most interesting thing is that whenever it deals with this conversation to Chris Brown, they specifically bring up the fact that it was a security, it was the management or whatnot, somebody outside of Chris Brown, somebody that is not directly Chris Brown. I've been waiting and looking for the proof of somebody out there. All of these stories, magically, there's like millions. I gotta exaggerate it because that's how it normally is when it deals with black men. It magically was trillions of black women out here that said that Chris Brown is a racist and colorist, but yet I have not seen a video where this is proven, where they're having a conversation with Chris Brown and he's literally saying like, okay, yeah, you too dark, I don't want you in my section. Oh yeah, you're too dark, you're not even my type. Oh yeah, you're too dark, just get. I'm waiting for that to take place and happen. I'm not seeing that. That's all I'm saying. We can magically have proof. Yo, see Apple, what is up? Magically we can have proof on everything else, but we don't got proof on that. It's crazy work. Tim said you can't make everybody happy. That's facts. Somebody said like any of these celebrities care about you. I mean, what does that even mean? This has to do with content creation. I mean, everything in reverse. I can sit up there and say, so just like the government, the officials don't actually care about you. Wake up. See how that works? Somebody said, was that a comment on one of my videos? No. The comment that I just showed you, that was somebody from the live stream. That's in the comment section. Of course, I had to block out, certain words because of YouTube purposes, because of things of that nature. It's crazy work out here, though. It's some crazy work. What we got here? Somebody said, Zay said, I seen a video of Chris Brown having 20 to 30 ladies following him at all times, and I'm sure he ain't hurt if people online are mad when in real life things are going his way. And yeah, and that's the craziest part. Like a lot of the women that are talking would more than likely be shook if they were even able to even talk to Chris Brown. And I'm talking about the ones that we were actually able to see. Right? They would be shook. Like, let me go back to this one. There's nothing wrong with her. I can tell obviously that she's wearing like makeup and she doesn't need it. But other than that, I can tell you that if she met any one of her male celebrities, she would be shook. There is not going to be no type of confidence. She's going to be looking like a 12-year-old middle schoolgirl. Ha ha hee, just like she don't know what to do, perspirating all over the place. Like I said, and even if it was Chris Brown that they ran directly into, I want people to understand how a lot of these women act online. If they were to see that same celebrity they're talking about, oh, it's a whole different thing. Let Chris Brown sit up there and pull her on stage. Let him sit up there and invite her, take her out to dinner, buy her some stuff. I promise you, her tune is going to change. She'll probably scrub whatever TikToks that she got where she was talking crazy about Chris Brown, because somebody's going to be like, oh, weren't you the same girl saying this, that, and the third about Chris Brown just about 2 months ago? Let's highlight this so Breezy can sit up there and see, right? Like I said before, it's crazy. Let any of these women that I showcased that made videos about Chris Brown, let them be in the presence of Chris Brown. I promise you, the same anger and frustration and rah that they got, it ain't gonna be that way. It's very rare. It is ultra rare for people to sit up there and have that same energy directly face to face with that celebrity. Too many celebrities have literally showcased this. They've called out people who wanted to say stuff online, and when they actually saw them in real life, they asked them like, "Yo, what was up? What's up with all that stuff that you said?" And then, especially if it's the guys that are like, "Man, I was just sitting up there joking. That's just for like social media." I'm like, "Nah, keep that exact same energy. Keep that rah 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 that you was sitting up there going. Keep all of that hatred and all those threats. Now that you got the celebrity in front of you, you ain't trying to do nothing. You ain't trying to see what's up." Like I said, it's crazy. That's some crazy work. 100%. Miss Smith said, "Yeah, why are the others here?" It be like that. It be like that when it happens to deal. We were at a height of about like 5 something, and then it technically it calmed down. I guess a lot of my moderators, they started getting people up out of here, packing them up. Somebody said her foundation is off. Yeah, there's some colors not matching up, but like I said, for me, I'm just looking. It ain't really nothing wrong with her, other than the makeup spot that I can happen to spot. It ain't really nothing wrong with her. Like I said, she wouldn't have like no problem going to and from places. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. Somebody said Michael B. Jordan. Oh no, yeah. I talked about Michael B. Jordan earlier. I talked about Michael B. Jordan earlier. I swear to goodness. They said Chris still has a career after the Rihanna situation. That's all you need to know about Chris Brown and cancel culture. He's damn near immune to it. Yeah. Piece of Peace said Rihanna's team was and / is more powerful when it came to the entire situation. They were able to block Chris Brown from making certain moves. I mean, that also had to do with like, the thing of like Rock Nation and all that other type of stuff. Because you got to remember who people are like linked directly to. So if there are money basically funding certain people, then they're going to have the means to facilitate, whatever it is that they need to sit up there and do. Right. Bushido, shout out to Eric Bird for the $1 dono to the channel. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Bushido said to the grammar police, the brother says irregardless because it's that serious, and he says ask instead of ask because she said she likes to chop down things. Lessons over dismisses. Lesson over dismissed. That's bars. 100%. Shout out to Bushido. Shout out to the man. Shout out. My uncle said I had to electric some of these folks out of here, Tekken style. Oh, you did the Eagle Wing God Fist? That's cold blooded. That's cold blooded. Cold blooded. Let me see. WB said actions have consequences, it seems. Let me see. Hopefully I pronounce this right. Delusion Grasti. Hopefully I pronounced that. At least hopefully I at least got the first name right. You said I mean it's sad he does not like dark-skinned women like myself, but I've been told by other dark-skinned men and women the same. You said, but I've been told by other dark-skinned men and women the same thing. It's his preference. Can't be mad at his truth, even if it hurts. I get what you're saying. Like I said, for me, I've never specifically heard it. And for the other people out there that are wondering why I'm even talking about this subject, is due to the effect of, as I stated before, whenever it is that you magically have black men that are doing great, they're doing stellar, and whatever it is that they're doing, somehow, some way, there's this type of thing where it's like, yo, we got to figure out a way to like dim this light. We got to bring this person back down. We got to smear this person's name one way or another. We can't allow them to sit up there and just, go for the Andromeda galaxy. They can't sit up there and, do whatnot or whatever. So for me, that's why I'm sitting up there talking about this. And I've sat up there and watched, as people, in a sense, as one would like to say, evolve or transform. and do a variety of things directly out there. And it's crazy to me that no matter, as stated before, all of the things that he does, either privately or openly, to show the love that he has for people, somehow, some way, people want to bring this directly up. Because I want to bring up the video that I think I showcased last month, where Chris Brown, it was a YouTuber, and he had the idea to basically go to a concert, and he saw, or no, I'm sorry, he didn't go to a concert. He saw this girl, asked her if she was like a Chris Brown fan. He was like, okay, cool, I got a surprise for you. Do you know who this is? And he showed Chris Brown's daughter, right? They were both, the girl and Chris Brown's daughter and the girl, basically the same age. So the two girls started sitting up there talking, and then the girl and the YouTuber was like, yo, we got one more surprise directly, for you. And then Chris Brown comes directly out, and he meets the girl and he meets the mom, and Chris Brown hands the girl, some money. It was like $10,000 or $20,000, right? Cash. Handed her money. And then they were, sitting up there talking and walking, and got to go to a concert and all this other type of stuff. After the concert was said and done, and I want to note, this is a black woman with her daughter. After the concert was said and done, Chris Brown was like, yo, we got one more surprise for you. We need you to, cover your eyes, and then we're gonna, take you somewhere. So Chris Brown's daughter is walking the little girl, the other girl, forward, and then Chris Brown is walking with the mother, talking to her. They're sitting up there laughing, and going back and forth or whatnot, whatever. And then they come out and they give them a brand new car. So it's interesting to me that, again, Chris Brown can do a variety of things out here for people. He can give, for what I'm assuming was a single mother with a daughter, he can give them thousands of dollars directly out of his pocket from his own money. And then he can proceed to give them a brand new car. And I don't sit up there and see the same think pieces directly on there. I don't see, oh, Chris Brown, he's a colorist. Oh, why is he only giving this car to this brown skin family? What about the darker complected black women with kids? Don't they deserve cars too? Don't they deserve $10,000 to $20,000 too? Why is he being colorist in the way of how it is that he's giving away his money? I don't see those think pieces. But when it deals with who it is that Chris Brown dates, magically it's these large think pieces about him being colorist, about him being oppressive, on how it is that he doesn't want to represent the multi-faceted colors of black women directly out there, and yada yada yada, and all this other type of good stuff. It's crazy. It's diabolical. 100%. Wait, what we got? What else we got? Let me see. What did she say that was wrong? What's the big deal? Wait. Which person are you talking about? Are you talking about the lady I highlighted, or? No, I was saying for the lady that was saying that she was darker complected, more melanated. I get what it is that she's referring to and is saying, but at the same time, I'm talking about towards like the tail end. The thing that I was addressing, that I've never heard out of Chris Brown's mouth that he doesn't like dark-skinned women. I've heard women state that, but I haven't heard him himself say that he doesn't like dark-skinned women. Because again, like I said, my problem is that I've covered way too many stories where women, it doesn't matter the race. I've heard women of all races tell lies directly on men. And just because women say something, automatically people run to it and believe it as if it's fact, even though they didn't have their own specific experience, even though they didn't go out there and see if it's true or if it's valid or not. So, that's all I'm saying. It's pretty much, that's all I'm saying. And again, like I said before, too many times, whenever it deals with black men, they get crucified. They are guilty until proven guilty. It's not guilty until proven innocent, innocent until proven guilty. It is guilty until proven guilty. And I'm like, well, here we go. Like I said, it's crazy. It's diabolical. Diabolical. let me see. What's another example that I could go back to? Because I know that some of you guys did not see the videos earlier because the live stream technically had started for an hour, and then the other one came directly in a little bit later. I'm not even gonna go to the other girl that was had a longer conversation. Matter of fact, you know what? I got you. I got you. Let me just go back and find another video. Wait, let me see this. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going. Oh, I think I might have to go up. I think because there was a video that I saw directly up there. So, matter of fact, let me go with somebody. Let me give a different perspective directly on this, right? Because I don't want people to think that this is a hit piece. Let me just try to make this as even as possible, right? So you got a black woman here that has a opposite opinion. Let me take down some of I'm gonna take that video down. She was just saying a whole bunch of nonsense right there. All right, so let's go to this woman here. She has a opposite opinion. So let's see what she has to state about the Chris Brown situation here. Let's listen to this.
Chris Brown is not colorist. Stop saying that. I don't think most of y'all even know what the definition is. A lot of it seems to come from the fact that you all may have low self-esteem. See, the women that keep saying it are the ones who believe that he wouldn't pick them. And man, probably with that attitude, he would not. Like, you got to go on. You got to stop making your issue someone else's issue. See, there's nothing wrong with that man having a type of woman that he may prefer to date or to rub up on, if that's what he's doing. Like, if you were a celebrity and you could bring any guy or woman into your section, and it's really women who keep on saying this, but if you were a woman and you can bring any man into your section or any man on stage with you, what is going to be a man that you like, right? A man that you attracted to, right? A man that you might want to get with, right? So why is it a problem when Chris Brown bring women up or you see him dating women who he prefers? There's not, every person has a type. And if that person's type is not you, it's okay. See? So stop saying that man is colorist. People that are colorist usually, you don't see them around people that look like them. You see them around what they, so if he was colorist and he didn't like people of color or brown people or black people, you will see his entire team will be whiteness. His entire team will be white people. And the women he would probably date will be white. So stop saying that because you have a problem with your self-esteem. Because y'all projecting. A lot of it is y'all projecting. Y'all mad that you can't be with them. And a lot of y'all probably couldn't because it ain't your color. Like, come on, man. Let's be real here. Leave that man alone. Stop spreading lies about him. He's never said that. Y'all never heard him say he don't like women of color. If he didn't want somebody in his section back in the day, it might have been because they didn't need to be in his section. It's his life, his business, and he can do with it what he wants. Leave that man alone about what he likes or doesn't, because you don't really know. Thank you. I got your back, Chris.
Right. So we heard that. So now I found the video. Let me see how long it is. About like 2 minutes. So now we're going to go to the opposite, like we did before, right? Because I did want to sit up there and showcase that it's not every single black woman out here that is directly on Chris Brown's neck and back trying to sit up there and say this and that, right? But you do have a lot of those out there that want to carry on with this type of deal, right? Had a person up here, I guess they decided to dip out. So they said, so you want to act like doing a few good things mean everything he's done has been forgiven and blame black women. You a weirdo. Peace. It's crazy to me that people want to leave a comment and then they don't want to have the dialogue. It's like you want to hurry up and leave a comment, and then you want to just let that be the final thing, and you're not trying to, have this whole type of thing, even though that's what you initially wanted to do when you made the comment. That's the thing that's weird to me. That's the thing that's weird. And the other thing that's weird is that if at the end of the day, right? Let me put it to you like this, right? If I know that I'm in a sundown, I'm a black man, right? If I know that I'm going to a sundown town, I know that realistically I shouldn't be there, right? Because I'm going to put it in the instance of how this person wanted to, say whatever it is that they said, right? In the comment. If I'm a black man and I happen to go to a sundown town, I know realistically them people don't like me. I know I shouldn't even be there, right? But yet I still, as a black man, even with knowing all of this information, even though knowing the history and how it is that I'm going to be treated and what can potentially happen to my food, I still opt to spend my money there. And then at the same time of spending my money there and knowing the history and knowing what I should do and not do, then I want to turn around and complain about the treatment. How does that make sense? That makes me look stupid. So within the same vein as other people have stated, if you know supposedly that a person does not like you, then why would you be spending your money on that person or with that person? So you're going to sit up here and tell me that I'm basically blaming black women. I'm blaming those who are complaining. Because the craziest part is, I bet you that a lot of the women online also that are complaining probably ain't never been to a Chris Brown concert, probably don't even got like a CD. They probably only got an album or anything like that. But they want to just get online and they want to dogpile because that's what everybody else is doing. It's popular. The name is hot right now, and they can make a few bucks directly off of it. I blame those who put themselves in situations of which they said that they already saw what it was, but they still decided to deliberately put themselves in that situation and then turn around and want to go online and start complaining. That's who I'm blaming. I'm blaming people for being stupid. But like I said before, at no point in time have I ever heard Chris Brown or seen online of him stating that he does not like darker complected women. Just saying. Just saying. What else we got? We're talking about finding young brothers. Grumpy said, my people, this is dumb. We talking about this when we're da 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 da, and that's why we can't get ahead. Well, the craziest part is, I've talked about a lot of those stories before. Who was that? Grumpy? I've talked about a lot of those stories before. Unbeknownst to you, what has taken place is that when I've highlighted and brought those stories up, those stories magically disappear, directly off of my platform for a variety of reasons. So yeah, I've talked about this all throughout the years. I've had some videos that were back to back when it's dealt with those exact same topics of which that you're referring to. And also on this platform, I talk about everything, right? So I'm a little bit confused when people say that we shouldn't be talking about this, but we need to be talking about that and all this other type of stuff. Let me see what else we got. Somebody said Chris Brown got male fans. I guess. I don't know. I've never been to a Chris Brown concert. Emo said, how can we possibly complain if we are supposed to be grateful? Another person. Yo, Lunch, what is up? What is up? What is up? He said, just came in. What is happening? Talking about the whole thing of people trying to stir up a thing of trying to get Chris Brown canceled, which makes no sense. Somebody said, where are these sundown towns? And I've been all over America. Obviously, you might not have been all over America. And if you look at videos of black truck drivers when they're driving around the United States, those are people who've literally been all around. I'm talking about to the smallest towns, to the middle towns, to the largest of cities. Truck drivers are the ones that have literally been around all the United States because they have to drive through, in and out and around. And a lot of the black truck drivers have reported on treatments, on threats. They've had to call back to dispatch and all of those things. I've covered videos like that before. So just because you can't find them and you can't see them doesn't mean that they don't exist. Like I said, things will change. It won't look the same, the exact same way that it used to be, but it still is that thing that it was, in a sense, originally, right? Let's see. At a college, the money said most sundown towns are in the Midwest, but they are all over the United States. That is bars. Matter of fact, Brother Reigns, who is another YouTube content creator, he has done a very great job of covering a lot of sundown towns. I'm trying to see if I can get the channel image that I have. Yeah. So if you want to potentially find out about sundown towns and you want to look that up, you can look up this brother right here. I've covered it a little bit, but he has done more, way more in-depth work when it deals with uncovering, talking about looking at the hidden ones that people may not know about, and different things of that nature. He's set up there and covered stories all over the United States. So if you actually want to learn about those things, since you say that you can't find them, his channel can clearly direct you to those. I'm not sure if he has a playlist specifically, or you may have to look through the videos in order to find them, but he has them. When you go on his channel, just type in sundown towns, and I'm pretty sure all of those videos will show directly up. Right. So just in case, for those who don't know where they are, or where they were located, or were located, and all this other type of stuff, you can find it. Oh Lord, what did Tippy say? Lord have mercy. She does this to me every time. Let me go back up, Tippy. Hold on. Give me a second. You said I skipped your comment. Hold on. Let me Tim was like, I don't date dark-skinned black men because they have bad attitudes and they're loud. Oh Lord. Let me see. You also said that black-skinned black people are beautiful. Light-skinned black people are beautiful to me equally. I can't say one looks better because of the skin tone. I got you. I got you, Tippy. Got you. So yes, I did actually read your comment, Tippy. I just want you to see that. Because I can hear this woman getting mad at me in the background. I swear to goodness. Grumpy said, I'm just saying that it's dumb. Let the young man love who he wants to, no matter the complexion, because regardless of what is that, Swinton, it's who you relate to. Okay, I got you. I get what you're saying. That last part, that Swinton part, that was throwing me off. Miguel said, great, but you said it's true. Hyperbole is not correct, mate. That's the point. I'm not sure who you might be referring to on that one. What is it? Jamocha, what is up? You said you can't fault a man for his preference, but you can choose to not support him. Right? Miguel said you're creating stereotypes which people use to fundamentally demonize other people. Sham said Wisconsin has 3 sundown towns. Yep. Another person said, the money said, Brother Reigns has an entire series on sundown towns. Oh, somebody complaining about the shit. Oh, you said it was a crap stream? No problem. We can get you up out of here. We can pack you up. No problem. Grumpy says, sorry, I typed too fast. Let Chris Brown love who he loves because it's going to come down to who you relate to. No, I got you. Miguel said black people in America have a higher percentage in the population. Education, don't commit crimes, like an educated. I'm not even sure how I even got directly to crimes and black people. I'm a little bit confused on there. Makes sense. Jamocha said people like who they like. We all have a preference, but Don't admit it. We all have to eat. I mean, that's true. Oh, Miguel said you're talking Omar. Okay, I got you. But yeah, that's true. Everybody does have a preference. So now we're going to go into the other video that I said that I have for you guys earlier that I spotted. So let's see what this. Wait, was that the video? Nope. Wait, hold on. Wait. Okay, there we go.
So Boba finally comes to the gate around like 7:15. He comes to the gate. I know it's him because he had a name tag on. His name tag basically said Boba. So I'm like, hey, are you Boba? Are you Chris Brown's manager? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm here with such and such. He said that you would be escorting me and my friends to the VIP platform. And he was like, oh, no, sorry, I don't have any more VIP wristbands. So mind you, it's 7:10, like 7:05, 7:10. So the concert just started. And I actually saw him have like 50 VIP wristbands in his pocket, but we're going to get there in a second. So he's like, I'm sorry, I don't have any more VIP wristbands left. So I'm like, huh? I'm like, I just got off the phone with such and such. He said that you were expecting me and my friends to come. So he's like, I'm sorry, sweetheart, I can't help you. And he walks away. Doesn't give us a ticket, don't give us any explanation, just that he doesn't have the wristbands. So I immediately get on the phone with my friend that works, with Chris Brown, knows Boba, knows all of them personally. And he's like, what? He's like, he literally just told me that he was coming to get y'all and he was expecting y'all. So he's like, let me call him and see what's going on. So he calls me back and he's just apologizing. He's like, I'm sorry, I don't know why he's tripping like that, but he doesn't want to give you guys the wristbands. So in the midst of it, I'm like, okay, well, he said he didn't have any left. But in the midst of it, we're standing there waiting for about 30 minutes to an hour. And me and my friends are watching him give girls wristbands that came way after us. And these girls were mixed. They were light skinned. They were Blasian. They were white. They were like, they didn't look like. So one of the guys from Chris Brown's entourage that was also with Boba walked up to my Puerto Rican friend and offered her a wristband. And she was like, well, what about my two friends that I'm with? And they're like, we can't help them. So this video is getting a little bit too long, but to make a long story short, we stood there and wasted. We missed Summer Walker and Bryson Tiller because we stood there waiting for somebody to help us for an hour. Boba and the rest of the entourage kept coming up, playing in our faces. They even tried to make us perform for the tickets, like made us spin around, audition, jump up and down on one leg, and stuff that the other women that did not have to do, like the light skinned girls, the white girls, the mixed girls. They didn't have to do that. They walked up, got their wristbands, were escorted down with no problem. So yeah, after them playing in our face for about an hour, we basically peeped what was going on. We realized we weren't, getting in, and that was that. So after like an hour of us waiting, Boba comes back and he gives us regular tickets, like tickets that were like, up in the sections, like up in the stands or whatever. So, I wasn't like tripping, but I just felt like he was only doing that because I had to basically, not necessarily harass him, but stress to him that we just drove all the way here from Cleveland and we were promised like VIP passes, VIP tickets by such and such. And he said you knew we were coming. So he basically.
Okay. Lord of mercy. I see why that video ended up getting fast forwarded. I think they had that on like 1.5 to almost like 1.8 or 2.0 on that because that would have been way too long because she said I just want people to understand that she said a whole bunch of nothing. This is how this works, and I'm trying to showcase this to a lot of people. This is a darker complected woman, and she's stating that she was not able to get VIP wristbands to Chris Brown to be backstage, to be a groupie and all this other type of stuff, right? Just to be in the presence. So because of that, Chris Brown gets blamed. Chris Brown is on stage performing. He don't have nothing to do with this. Like, this dude is worried about putting on a good performance for everybody, giving people their money's worth and all this other. And you're talking about people that are outside of Chris Brown doing this. You mentioned some dude named Boba. You mentioned the security team. You mentioned everybody else's name but Chris Brown. You never said Chris Brown didn't give you a VIP. Chris Brown didn't bring you back there. Chris Brown made you do this. Chris Brown denied you. Like I said, like, yo, I don't understand how people don't understand how this works. Folks out here are having issues with other people outside of Chris Brown. The brother's an artist. He on stage somewhere doing whatnot or whatever, getting prepped or getting ready. You sitting up here trying to get a wristband or whatnot or whatever. You never spoke to Chris Brown, never talked about him or whatnot or whatever. But like I said before, because his name is hot, they're going to sit up there and put him directly up there and then start listing everything else. But with the optics, everybody's going to be like, oh yeah, Chris Brown, he's this, he's that, and all this other type of stuff. But she's talking about everybody else but Chris Brown. And that goes for every other video that I've showcased and seen directly online. All of these women are talking about everybody else but Chris Brown. And I'm like, nobody sees the problem here? Nobody is paying attention? Yeah, that smoke detector was going off. That was wild. It'd be like that. It'd be like that. Like I said, I changed my batteries a while ago, and ain't nobody heard a smoke detector in my background since. It ain't that difficult. Just to be real. Like I said, I got to be transparent. My moderator just to get on me quite a bit. It's like, yo, Seiji, that smoke detector. You gonna fix that? Like I said, it ain't nobody heard that from me since. Just saying. Just saying. I'm like, everybody can afford tickets. They can afford to get their hair and their nails done and to travel, but can't afford some batteries from the dollar store. That's some crazy work. Diabolical. Can't make this up. Can't make this up. Omar said exactly. We have no idea how they were acting when they weren't picked. Oh yeah, that's true. That's bars. That is a excuse me, my bad. That is 100% bars. Yeah, you don't know how they was acting. Because in a lot of instances I've seen, even outside of like concerts, when you got girls waiting to get inside of like a club or a bar, they be sitting up there acting crazy. They be trying to fight people, fight security, and argue and run their mouth and all this other type of stuff, thinking that they right. I'm like, dog, you trying to get into somebody's establishment. You trying to be overly aggressive, trying to run your mouth, trying to fight people and do all this other type of nonsense. I'm like, you doing way too much. You're really not getting in here, and they're about to call the police on you. So, like I said, don't nobody know how they was acting. And like I said, I've seen videos online of women sitting up there acting completely crazy because they can't get into something because they think that they look good and all this other. Man, dog, come on. Like I said, it'd be crazy out here though. It'd be crazy like that. It'd be crazy like that. Sham said, accuse the man and jump into conclusions. Still need to have evidence that he actually said the stuff. People mad at the man and he may have never said it. That's what I'm saying. Every story that I run directly into on TikTok right now at this moment in time, even beyond TikTok, has been women getting on there talking about that. Oh, I heard this. My friend experienced this or this, that, and that. But I'm like, you said your friend's experience, but was that really with Chris Brown or was that somebody outside of Chris Brown? Was it with Chris Brown? Did he specifically say this and do these things? Or was it somebody outside of Chris Brown? And every single time it's somebody outside of Chris Brown. Because the craziest part is Chris Brown has black female dancers. And he also got dancers of other races as well, too. But I have not heard those black dancers come out there and start talking crazy about Chris Brown. If things were as real as a lot of these women are stating online, then the black dancers will be the first, regardless of whatever money that they're getting paid, to perform and be on stage. They would be the main ones to sit up there and step up and start speaking. Right, because that was happening during what, the Me Too and the Time Is Up. Women were coming directly out of the blue, talking about all these men in these higher up ranking positions and sweeping the board, sweeping the map. Right, I have not seen that happen with Chris Brown. Just saying. But yeah. SP said he's always been like this. Laughing said that's what they get. He's light skinned and can't dance, so he can't do anything wrong except not liking. I think that was a typo. I think you meant he's light skinned and he can dance. I'm guessing. I mean, yes, whatever you say though. Break said Chris says he doesn't want no darker complected women in his presence. I mean, nobody has proof. Larry Griffin said nature, variety, melody, poetry, good or bad, nature, variation, harmony, poetics, well and then. Sham said, yeah, he got two dark skinned female dancers. Yeah. Yep. And they be out there. Let me tell you, front and center, they be out there in them streets. They be moving 100%. Yes. But yeah. Wait, let me see this. Oh no, I think that one got music. So let me just go back real quick. And then you got the other girl talking about Chris Brown was on some type of drugs, which is crazy to me. Wait, let me see. I think we might have another one directly in here. Let me just listen to this real quick. No, ain't it. All right, let me scroll directly down real quick. Somebody said, when are we going to move past the Chris Brown hate? I'm not even gonna post that dude. I'm not even doing it. I'm not even doing it. I don't even feel like even going down that road at this moment in time. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. Oh, the other thing that I mentioned too, I just want to bring this up again, as I stated earlier, excuse me, earlier on in the live stream, is that a lot of women who are online doing this whole complaining and all this other type of stuff, they're going to mess this up. Where the meet and greets and bringing women directly on stage, they're going to mess up that whole fantasy world for the rest of the women directly out there. Let's see. I'm trying to find. All right. We're gonna listen to this video here. Sweet mother of Christ. Sometimes I wonder why I put myself through this, but then I remind myself that I'm a content creator. It's part of the course. It's part of the course. So let's take this woman's video down, and then let's take a listen to this woman here.
I'm gonna let Chris Brown go until he kills someone. And let's call a spade because literally he's been arrested at least once a year for the last decade. And anybody who has a lick of common sense can see that his crimes have like kind of stayed the same, but also escalated because his most recent charge is for sexual assault. And since y'all keep selling out his concerts, you keep streaming and listening to his music, you keep paying rent payments to take pictures with him and things of that nature. And you know all of these things, or some of you don't because you don't want to pay attention to these things, or you just genuinely didn't know. But even when y'all are faced with this fact, like, you still find excuses for him. So y'all are going to continue to enable him until eventually he does something that you cannot excuse. And that would be what I just mentioned. That's it. That's the only thing that I feel like at this point that he could do and even then, that won't even get y'all to wake up, to be honest. I know a few Gen X women who will lay their life down on that hill and be like, no, it was because of this, it was because of that, it wasn't his fault, da 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 da. Y'all gonna find a way to like enable him because you always do, but I feel like for a good majority of people, that will be their wake up moment. The writing is on the wall. I hope he course corrects, but if history is any indicator.
So we heard that again. Nothing positive at all, and I just want to go over. Tippy, you said it looks off. Yeah, because if anybody is used to eating ramen, that's exactly what it looks like. It looks like ramen. Like as soon as I saw it, I'm like, I'm pretty hungry right now for some ramen, but I don't have any in my house right now. That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me directly of ramen. I can't give you anything else. It reminds me of ramen. That's what it looks like. But anyways, um, so as we can clearly see, I wanted to look this up, right? Because that was a recent post that woman did, and I wanted to see if I could find anything directly on what it is that she was talking about, and I found a few things, right? So the most recent thing as of June 11th 2025 was Chris Brown pled not guilty to more charges over London nightclub assault case. That was, I guess, him and like the DJ and how it is that in a sense went down and worked out, right? And then after that, let me see, I gotta try to pull this right back up so I can see. Right after that, we got a complete timeline of Chris Brown's controversies. Hopefully, this is in the same order. Let me just make sure. Yeah, it is. Okay. Next, we got Chris Brown sues Warner Brothers for a documentary about essay claims. Another one says, and that was from January 22nd of 2025. From France 24, it was United States singer Chris Brown ordered held until June in UK assault case, again with the DJ, whatnot, whatever. Next, we got from the Guardian, Chris Brown sues Warner Brothers for $500 million over essay allegations in a documentary. And next, we got the Hollywood Reporter from October 20th of 2024. It says Chris Brown doc, Jane Doe alleges rapper drugged and went after her on Diddy's yacht. Right. So again, I'm trying to figure out what specifically is she talking about, because she was like, oh yeah, of the last thing that it was. No, the last thing that took place was Chris Brown in the UK having that fight or whatnot or whatever that took place there. That was the main thing. That's where it was. I think some concerts might have had to get pushed back or whatnot or whatever because of some whatever court dates, whatever it was that was going on there. Because I think they were trying to keep him there for about 11 or whatever amount of days. But like I said, she didn't have nothing. She had nothing positive to say. Even when she wanted to be like, well, I would hope he would course correct. She didn't really mean that. She fully believes that he is just fully evil. There ain't nothing positive and all this other type of, like I said, this is what I be talking about. This is what I be talking about every single time. The moment in time, like if at the moment in time Chris Brown became just like broke or something like that, like he was just like not out here in the social media landscape and he just did not have money anymore, people would still try to bring his name up to highlight it just to try to make something directly off of that. If Chris Brown disappeared, people would be like, oh, I wonder what Chris Brown is doing. And they would try to theorize. And then you would hear theories. And then magically you'll hear these random stories where women are talking about, oh, yeah, I heard this about, and I got this friend that was in this, that, and the third, and rah, rah, rah. But like I said before, you got somebody decided to do a documentary and you had a woman decide to levy an allegation, and that's a very serious allegation. And it's like, where is the proof? Where is the proof that any of this took place, any of this happened? Because I've covered stories before where women have decided to state that in one instance they had consensual relations with a dude, but in the midst of it, they were like, I don't want to do this no more. And the dude stops. He was like, okay, fine, no problem. Let me, get my clothes. Let me go home. The next morning, you sit up there and hear the police banging at the dude's door because now he's going to be on trial. Now he's about to get arrested because the woman who said that she didn't want to, finish, and the dude respected that and stopped. Now she's claiming that the dude went after her and all this other type of stuff. Like I said, I done covered stories like this on my platform before. So this is why I do not 1000% believe this, because you've had too many women out here just lying about stuff because they know they can get some type of celebrity, some type of fame, some type of money. Because you got those women out there that don't want to actually do a job. They don't want to go out there and get an education. They don't want to get a trade. They don't want to do the necessary things in order to get hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. They don't want to spend time working for them. It's like, this is the easy way to do it. I'm going to do it. Like people remember what happened with Drake, right? Where the girl that Drake set up there and slept with, he tied up the condom and threw it in the trash. But unbeknownst to her, he sat up there and put like some I think what was it, some jalapeno like hot sauce. And the only way that was found out was because the girl decided that she wanted to go into the trash, get that condom, and try to hurry up and get the bag, quote unquote, and impregnate herself. Right? She reversed the condom, put it inside of herself, and then she found out that, oh, he sat up there and sabotaged the DNA. And now I'm suffering from burns on the inside because he decided to do that. And it was crazy that she actually had a lawyer that represented her and said that Drake was at fault for his client's injuries. And not the fact that his client is dirty and decided to go into the trash and try to trap him in. That's some, like I said, it's some crazy work. This stuff out here is wild. It is wild out here, I tell you. It is wild. But, people don't want to pay attention to that. No, nobody wants to pay attention. John Doe said, what is up, Seji? Nothing much. What is up? What is up? What is up? What is going on? Tippy said the whole Chris Brown thing is tiring. Black women, please focus on men who do love dark-skinned black women. Keith Powers love dark-skinned black women. I don't know. Look up the Usos, the Samoans love them. Black women. It's women. But yeah, like I said before, I don't know what to specifically tell people. Like I don't. It seems as though that you have a lot of people. I'm just going to highlight this woman as an example. You have a lot of people that tend to live in some type of like fantasy land where you have those who are attracted to the guy but know that they can't make it. So they decide to be on the other side of the bar where they decide to demonize and throw this and that and muddy the guy's name. And not only that, but they also want to ruin the type of fantasy or the happiness that other women are able to get and or receive because they themselves are not able to receive that same happiness. So they want other women to be in that exact same barrel of unhappiness that they are specifically in. Just saying. Just saying. Like I said, some crazy work directly out here. 100% crazy work. At the same time, even within the comment section, wait, what was that? Hold on. Somebody said dark skinned women shouldn't like Chris Brown. Hold on. We might have another one. You know what? She has an alternative opinion. Let me just play that one real quick. Because like I said, I like playing alternative opinions. People that live in a type of reality, or at least that pays attention to certain types of things. Let's get this craziness directly off the screen real quick. Get her pack run up. Let's look at the next one that we have. See what she has to say.
Shaming dark-skinned women for liking Chris Brown music is kind of crazy. I'm just saying. Some of us aren't delusional. We know that we're not his preference sexually, and that's okay. We can still like his music. We can still think he's talented. Now, I'm not saying that it's right or wrong that he should quote-unquote be a colorist or whatever the hell y'all be saying. I just don't give a fuck. What he like really ain't got shit to do with me. Put the motherfucking song on and get your ass on that stage and do a backflip. That's what I paid for.
Right. So she's living in a type of understanding, right? That Chris Brown may or may not have a preference, and he tends to date girls who look like this. That's all cool, but at the end of the day, I still enjoy his music. I still like the fact that he's an artist and the stuff that he puts out, the way he dances, all that stuff. Like I said, somebody that in a sense understands reality and is also calling out the other women out there that's like, yo, you shouldn't sit up there, and as a dark skinned woman, you shouldn't sit up there and like Chris Brown and this, that, and like I said before, you have women out here when they feel a certain type of way, they want all the other women out there to feel that exact same type of way. That's how poison spreads. Because you got some people out there where it's like, oh, well, if I'm poisoned, if I'm hurt, I want other people to be right. I'm not going to sit up here and die alone. Other people going to be right here near me. And they're out there trying to shake hands. They're trying to give hugs, knowing the fact that every single touch that they give is going to deliver that exact same poison that they have to the other person. And that's the main thing I'll be trying to get through to a lot of other women directly out here. It's like, yo, y'all got to be very careful of these other women out here. They will try to make you, try to morph you into them because they feel a certain type of way. They want you to automatically feel that way. You better sympathize and empathize. You better understand where it is that she's coming from. If I'm sitting up there, if I'm living in this place of not receiving the type of validation of love that I feel I should from Chris Brown, I want you living in that exact same place. We're going to be unhappy together. But I promise you, those same ones that sitting up there telling you to be unhappy and all this other stuff, the moment of time that they get their moment to shine, they leaving all of y'all in that same barrel of which y'all all resided in, where y'all are all supposed to be equals. The moment in time that celebrity or whoever puts their hand down, be like, yo, I see you down there. Like, let me pick you up real quick. She's leaving all of y'all. And I done seen it too many times. But hey, I'm the crazy one though. I am the crazy one. Diabolical. Santino said she got a little sense. Yeah, she got sense. Versus a lot of other videos that I actually showed during the 2-hour live stream, she got more sense than a lot of the people that I showcased. She got way more sense. And because aka Black Don't Crack, it's very hard to in a sense determine what age, because I'm looking, because it's like I'm trying to get like a good angle. It's tough. I can't even. She can fit in a variety of ways. I know that she can be anywhere from college to potentially a woman that may be 40. But like I said, Black don't crack, so it's hard to, in a sense, tell. You got some people that can fit different age ranges, directly out there. It's hard. And then especially when you got people out here that don't got like, bags under their eyes and stuff, it's very hard to tell. It's very hard to tell. So like I said, you can fit in a variety of ages. In a variety of ages. But yeah, man, like I said, this whole thing is it's crazy. This whole thing is whoa, what type of that's crazy. That's diabolical work. Shout out to all of the, I'm looking at the numbers in the background of the amount of people that just like pull directly. Is this the wait, which channel is this? That's insane. So wait, what does the other one look like? Let me look at this real quick. That's some crazy work. Shout out to all my moms and everybody that's currently here at this moment in time, just sitting up here looking at some stuff in the background, looking at the analytics. Oh yeah, the other one that one just flew. That's crazy. That is diabolical for those numbers. So we got about a good we got 22. Shout out to the 22 on the original channel. Much love, much love. Wait, what did Tippy say? Married a Viking. Oh, Tippy must be talking about if she's going off, she must be talking about The Rock. Gotta be talking about The Rock. I can already see it at this moment in time. Also, as well, too, I would like to bring a little bit of awareness, because I know that usually when I happen to do videos and stuff, they don't get the type of light that they should receive. So I want to bring a little bit of awareness to a video I just posted, which I can't post that. Oh, I got to take down some videos here. Let me just highlight this real quick. There was a video I just actually posted today, which is this one. Where is? Oh, maybe it's not properly showing up? I might have to take down a few images there. So let me try that again. Let me see. There we go. So I did this video. At the moment in time, I got about 316 views and only 11 comments. As stated before, I showcase and I do a lot of these videos in order to bring awareness. Because a lot of instances people tend to say that, oh, Seji, black men don't care about black women and all this other type of stuff and yada yada yada. And anytime I happen to showcase videos like this or stories like this, and I bring these topics directly up, supernaturally, the main people that say that I don't care or I don't, want to talk about certain things and whatnot, they never show up to these videos. And like I said, this was a pretty sad story. At the end of the day, like I said, for anybody's daughter, this would not be something that I would wish on them at all. But as stated, that this did not have to happen and it could have been very easily prevented. I also want to state before any type of judgments do take place that her father, who is black, he is in her life. She got pictures directly with him. The night that she disappeared, she was at her father's house. Her mother is also in her life as well too. In the video, you will see an interview between the mother and the father directly there when it deals with this. And hold on. And the main thing that I stated in the video, just like I stated for this video, I'm probably for this live stream, probably have a lot of people, unsubscribe, which is cool. It'd be like that. For this video as well, probably going to have 2, 3, 5, 10 people unsubscribe due to the video and the things that I stated in there. I stated primarily that this could have been prevented because the young woman who was 19, she was out there selling herself on the streets. She was out there at dark 30 in the morning when we've all been taught by our parents that there is nothing out there at night, that there's nothing good at all, right? That you can gain from being out there at night, but you have everything to lose. And that in this young woman, she learned that lesson because she was trying to make some money for whatever reason. She got both parents, but she decided that she wanted to be out there in the streets. And she decided to play those street games, and the streets took her life. She's seen directly on camera getting out of her car, parking, going to the guy's car that you see directly on the right side of the screen, and getting in, having a conversation with him, getting into his car, driving off in said car, going back to his home to never be seen or heard from ever again. Like I said, all of that could have been prevented. All of that could have been prevented. So, yeah. Sham said, where did everybody go? I mean, I don't know. We got like 208 people here. People happen to flash in and out directly of the stream. It depends on what channel you're looking at. So on one side, people may not be talking. On the other side, you may have some people specifically happening. GB Hoops said, what happened? So basically, because this is towards the end of the live stream, so I just wanted to bring awareness to the story because this is a story that I just recently did and posted, but it did not get the type of attention that, in a sense, the live stream that I did actually got. Because if people actually see the numbers after the live stream is done, then you'll see what it is that I'm talking about. But yeah, like I said before, stuff like this doesn't need to happen. And a lot of times people tend to, oh, my bad. So basically what happened is that the young girl, she is no longer here because the guy to the right took her life because the young girl was out at night and she was working the streets. She left during the time, from what I can remember in the video, she left her father's house and she went out and decided to meet up with the guy that you see to the right, had a conversation, got into his car, left and went to his home to never be heard or seen from ever again. So, just wanted to put that out there. Oh, Tippy, that's because you're on the first one. That you're probably on the first channel. So you'll probably have to go into the second one, and you'll probably see more people in a sense, I guess. But yeah, that's what took place. Somebody said T-Mon's Evolution said it's all men. I mean, that's not specifically what I'm focused on. The main thing that I was focused on is that the prevention part, which is that if she wasn't out there at 19 years old deciding to do adult things, which is walking the streets and trying to sell whatever it is that she has, she would have been safe and sound. This wouldn't even be a story. And I want to note that the young girl that you're able to see here, woman, whatnot, she got military photos, right? So she got some early, military photos. She got parent photos with her mom and her dad, and I think she might also have a graduation photo directly up there. And also her state stated that they were going to honor the memory of her. So she also did some other things as well too. So she was smart. It wasn't like she was dumb. It's not like she just didn't know what to do and what not to do. She was smart enough, but she opted to do this, which doesn't make any type of sense. Tippy said, "Wait, she left her dad's house." Yeah, yeah. She after she left her father's house, she met up with the guy that you see on the right. So what I'm saying is the father's in the life, right? One way, shape, or form, her father is there. He is present. He has a home of which she goes to. Her mom has a home as well. But she left, decided to meet up with the dude, and she was never heard from ever again. And the main thing that I stated in the video is the fact that a lot of women out here need to start having conversations with their daughters, because I've seen too many I've done too many stories where the fathers have been present directly in the lives of these girls, and they still go out there and do what it is that they want to sit up there and do. Um, a father can only do so much. Women have the innate and unique ability to pass down history of what it is to be a woman, the love, the nurturing, the caring, the validation, the respect, self-love. Only women can pass down that knowledge to a young girl, to a developing woman. Men cannot do that. We can sit up there and protect. We can say, I love you, you're beautiful, and all this other. That's as far as it goes. We cannot teach the inner workings. We cannot teach the inter understandings of a woman or what it's like to be a woman. We can't do that. So, like I said before, regardless on if people disagree with me or not, like I said, more women need to start talking to these young girls directly out here. Like I said, as a guy, I've tried to talk to even girls my own age back when I was in high school. I've tried to sit up there and do it, and to no avail. People still wanted to do what it is that they wanted to do. Now, I was trying to look out for people. I've seen girls sit up there and decide to go against the best interest that their father has directly for them, and to still deal with other types of dudes, even with the father being present. I'm watching this while being there, and I'm like, dog, what is wrong with you? I'm like, this don't make no sense. But like I said, it be like that. But again, nobody wants to focus on that. Everybody's like, well, if the father was there, if the father was present, if more black men were. But I'm like, the black man is there. The father is present. He's there. But this still happened. But like I said, I don't know. I don't know. Um, let me see. Oh, we just got straight trolls in here. We got straight trolls in here at this moment in time. But yeah, where's the let me see if I got the image here. Hold on, let me get you real quick so I can just showcase that real quick. I thought I had it as a more so as a collage because I wanted to show both of them directly up there. But yeah, this is her and her father, right? Father, daughter, look great. You know, everything of the sort. This is the image of her and her mother. If I can find that one real quick. Right? Her and her mother. Again, beautiful family. Looking great. And then the next photo that I got directly up here is of the young girl in her military gear. And again, that's her with her father. So like I said, the father is obviously there. The father's obviously there. I like I said, I don't know how else to sit up there and explain it or to try to, you know, tell people on, you know, people being there or not. But he's pretty, at least from photos, he's pretty present. He's pretty much there. He has a home of which that, you know, she was able to go to and from or whatnot, whatever, how it is that it specifically worked. But yeah, like I said, I don't know. All I'm saying is that she was smart. She was very intelligent, and she, you know, just opted to very much walk into and do the wrong things for whatever reasons. You know, you said has anything come out about any current boyfriends? Wait, what you mean? Oh, so you must have just got here. I got you. The person that ended up taking her life was not a boyfriend at all. She was working, basically walking the streets. That the person that you see to the right, the Hispanic male, that's the person that took her life. So that's the person that took her life. It ain't no boyfriend, no significant other or anything of that nature. It was very simple. She had her car. She drove to a place. His car was there. She had a conversation on either side of the car door. After the conversation was done, she got into said car and then drove to his house. And this was like dark 30. What I mean by dark 30, I'm talking about like it's early morning. Like you're looking at 2, 3, 4, right in the morning. Sham said, I feel like her father was teaching her, and it seems to be that she had bad priorities that got her that ended up leading to her loss of life. It might be her mother who filled her head with BS. Tippy said, I don't understand this. Why sell herself if she's in the military? Was her dad in the military too? Isn't that free college scholarship? You get benefits from having military dads, right? Like I said, I don't know if the dad was in the military or not. I just know of the image that I have that, you know, she is at least in some form, shape, or way in the military, was a part of the military. And there are benefits that do come with being in the military, but she still opted, you know, to do what it is that she wanted to do. Cheryl said, I knew that, but was she dating anyone at the time? They didn't say anything. She's 19. So you know, when people are 19, they're dating everybody. Well, I'm talking about within their range. But they didn't say anything on the news. Nobody said anything about a boyfriend dating or anything like that. We're living in a time and age of which you got young women like this who are 18, 19, 20. They decide that they want to make more money and they want to work for themselves. So they'll either decide to become an exotic dancer or they will start opening up an OF. Both of those things have nothing to do with having, let's say, like a handler or anything like that, or somebody trying to coerce them, into that situation. There are a lot of women right now that are doing this just them. Um, so yeah, because it's sort of now this is just my point of view. I'm talking directly to Cheryl. It seems like you may be trying to allude to that it might have been she might have been pressed into this issue by way of a male bi connection to make money. And I can't give you anything directly on that. But I do know, at least within this time period, and especially during the time of the pandemic, you have a lot of women that went directly out there and started just, using their own bodies to make money. And it had nothing to do with the men trying to coerce them, persuade them, or force them, into those circumstances. So, like I said, it's crazy. Um, how a lot of those things happen. I wish things could have been very much different for her. And yeah, I don't know. But yeah, if you would like, you could just so happen to go directly to the channel. I'm not sure which channel people might be on, but if you go to SEIJIHITO the Second Coming, you could watch that video that is posted and hear more information directly about it in the video. I think how long is the video? I don't think it's that long actually. The video is it's only like 13 minutes. So I'm going over the report. You also got other information directly from the media that may not have been in the specific article that I read from, and you can come to your own conclusion or whatever it is that you feel, and leave a handy dandy comment directly in the comment section. Just saying. Tippy said, I don't understand why she would do that. Gorgeous woman and chose to do that. Let me calm down. Yeah, like I said, Tippy, I trust me, I've seen this time and time again, and it's still baffling to me to this day. When realistically I should be used to it. But it's like I said, it's crazy. Tippy said 19-year-old, very young woman. She could have easily been a gamer girl with her looks. Yeah, she could have did anything. She could have did modeling and all this other type of stuff. Could do a lot. Sham said, or female Seiji. I've seen females set other women up doing stuff like this. I mean, that's true. That is true. That's 100% true. That is true. Police said the media in Washington, D.C. police won't show us the alleged video of the car Thompson getting into the suspect vehicle. Why? They got the video directly up there. They show you her, leaving her car and all this other type of stuff directly up there. They got some videos directly up there. I'm not sure which news sources that you might have to go directly to, but they got it up there. And all that other type of stuff and whatnot. And the parents are also speaking, directly on the situation. Yo, Wabba, what is up? What is up? What is up? What is going on? What is going on? But yeah, pretty much. Also, shout out to anybody who is currently here at this moment in time. The live stream should have been going on both ends at the same time, but it was not. So on one end, we've been going for about a good 3 hours. And on the other side, if I check it, let me see what's the time that they give us. On the other end, it'll say that the live is running for about an hour and 53 minutes. So technically, for the other channel, it's probably missing a good like two, about close to a good like 2 hours directly on there. So you know, it'd be like that. But anyways, much love, respect, and appreciation to any and all of those who have donated directly to the stream. Shout out to anybody who pulled and came directly through. Shout out to anybody who came in late and that wasn't your fault. That was realistically, technically, that was mine because I didn't pay attention to what Shan was telling me. That something should have clicked and it didn't. So shout out to Sham for trying to tell me. It's like I said, sometimes it just doesn't click sometimes, but you tried. So I gotta highlight that. Again, shout out to all of those who pulled directly through to the stream. We got about a good, even though this was a stream that only went for about a good hour and 54, we had a crazy number, which is we had about a good 80K that pulled directly through for no reason. Crazy work out here. Diabolical in nature. But yep. It'd be like that though. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out where I'm even going with this at this moment in time. I think my hamster fell off the wheel at this moment, probably because I'm hungry. But yeah, it's what is it, a Friday at this moment in time? So yeah, y'all go check out, go have a nice day. Have a nice September 19th. It's like 5:27. Still daylight outside. Go order some food, catch up on some Netflix, some anime, some manga, some games, or something like that. Spend time with yourselves or your family or whatnot. And yeah, go go out there. Go out there and be great. Again, shout out to all of my beautiful, wonderful moderators who pop up, do the Lord's work every single day. Much love, respect, and appreciation to all of y'all. Wouldn't be able to do what it is that I do without you guys. And especially shout out to all of the haters. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Shout out to all the haters for always pulling through, being unsubscribed. One is always let your opinions be known, and wanting to say all of the craziness directly to me. It'd be like that. 100%. What was it? It said at the height we had about like 810 directly in here. That was at like 350. That's crazy. It's diabolical. Diabolical work. D Money said, I guess they thought it was going to be a Chris. Wait. Oh, a CK stream. Oh yeah, Charlie Kirk. Yeah, it'd be like that. It'd be like that. Wabba said, I feel you though. Got you. Oh yeah. And also with D Money says, shout out to the regulars. I forgot about that. I was supposed to mention that every single end of the live stream. Shout out to all the regulars that come directly to the channel, to the streams and everything of the sort. Shout out again to all the members. Excuse me. Yo, we got Will Davis up in here. Much love, respect, and appreciation. I just saw the what's the name up there. Much love. I gotta put these timestamps up here. Let me see. That was Will at 5:19. Hopefully he was able to hear me give that shout out. Hopefully. Try to read some of these comments real quick. Wabba said, I wish our sisters would stick with brothers. It's not safe. Rabbit, what is up? He said Black Americans got some really high levels of restraint. I'm surprised at how the low amount of Black Americans trying to get revenge for their loved ones. Another person said just popped in. What happened? Going to have to probably rewind it back. At the moment, my apologies because I've been going for about a good 3 hours. Voice is a little bit tired. D Money said, I guess they thought it was, yeah, said, I feel you though. And while Williams said, yo, Hito with the hands E for everyone. Bars. 100% bars, 100%. For anybody who just pulled up to the live stream, check out the replay when it goes up. Because I would rehash it, but I've already done that just a little bit previously, along with some videos as well too. Will said, I'm here getting ready for work, bruh. Be easy, Seiji in the room. I got you. Much love, respect, and appreciation. To have a safe trip to work and also back home. And things of that nature. And don't let the coworkers, get you outside of yourself. Don't let the supervisors get to you, because I like I said, I've been there and I understand it. So, you know, always try to, stay and be in a positive mind frame, against all the nonsense, that's specifically out there, because it be like that. That's how people, try to get you. It's like that moment in time. It's like, oh, no problem. We're gonna get you up out of here. Oh, you was late 3 times. Yeah. We need to have a conversation with you real quick. We gotta let you know you'll no longer be with us. We don't need you, sir. Like I said, I've been there. I understand how it works. So, just saying. When we said dang love should have been a beautiful wife or a mother. Yeah, like I said, she had a future. She had a future. But yeah, if anybody want to watch the live stream or just listen to it, you'll be able to catch the replay. And on top of that, if you want to see the video of the picture that I have directly in front of you, you can go directly to SEIJIHITO the Second Coming, and you can check out that video. Please do, because like I said before, that video only got about like 315 views, which is crazy to me, because I try to do these videos and I try to bring this directly to the forefront when I see that it's not really getting highlighted. And like I said before, those videos tend not to get a lot of views like the other videos that I tend to do. I can't tell you why, even though people said that these videos should be highlighted, they never happen to pop up. Willie said the media and the cops had no problem showing us the gruesome George Floyd incident. So why won't DC police release the video of Darker getting into the suspect's vehicle? They got some video footage up there. Wabba said the way they do our sisters proves how much they value them. That's facts. William said, I'll catch the replay, Hito. Keep giving them haters, them E Honda, those hands. At first I thought you said E Honda hands, but you said hands, hands E for everyone. I got you. Because I was like, oh, this man talking about Street Fighter real quick. He talking about those 100 hand slaps. I got you. But yeah, I got you. But anyways, much respect and appreciation. I'll catch you guys in the next video and or live stream. Peace out.